welcome to Phil Phails. My name is Philip Jones, and today my guest is Mary Richardson-Perez.
Hello.
She is the founder and co-owner of Studio Satya, and we're going to work on that pronunciation during this talk. She's also a yoga teacher and a social work intern on the way to becoming an LCSW, a licensed clinical social worker. You already waved to everybody. Wave again to everybody. They live in all these cameras. Today, Phil fails at balance, right?
Yes.
We're going to fail at balance today.
Yes.
We're also going to have some fun talking about some Sanskrit. We're going to learn some Sanskrit words. I'm going to learn it, and you guys can learn it too, because if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. Yeah. We can learn the wrong way and the right way.
That'll be fun.
Because Mary knows between the two of us, she's the expert in Sanskrit, although she would not call herself an expert in Sanskrit.
Never.
But between the two of us, she is the much more well-informed. Let's just call it that. More educated. So she can teach me things. We're also going to talk about trauma-informed yoga, I think, maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
We'll see if it flows out. But definitely about balancing the, how would you call that? What would you call that? Balancing the kind of the more difficult emotions that we experience in life, balancing those out with yoga, breathwork, different strategies to balance out life's challenges.
Yeah. Or we could, use some of the words you used earlier with like this idea of expanding our capacity so that we are able to hold space for the more challenging moments, like the suffering, while also making more space for the joy of life or the things that allow us to feel more content or, so that balance.
Yeah.
And then yoga becomes the tool.
The tool for it. Because you're definitely, well, I was going to say definitely an expert. Would you call yourself an expert in yoga?
No.
Gosh. Would you call yourself an expert in anything?
No.
That means she's definitely an expert, y'all. Experts never call themselves experts.
No.
If you find someone that says like, I'm a meditation, and you'd be like, are you an expert in meditation? They would never say they are. That's how you know they are.
Or they're just honest.
They're honest. Well, because we're in a perpetual state of growth and development. Right. And of becoming.
And there's always somebody that knows more.
Right.
Especially if we're talking about Sanskrit.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about, balance. Let's see here. We can start out with a Phil Phails 5 questions, although I've grown into a more freeform kind of way of navigating this first part. Just because I like the informal vibe of it all.
I'm not familiar with the 5 questions, though, so I'm kind of curious.
Oh, well, I asked 5 questions about the topic, which is balance for us.
Okay. They're the same questions every time.
Do you want to do it? No. I improv them.
Oh.
But they're pretty much, they're similar, right? Okay. It'd be like, how do you fail at balance? No, let's do it. So you can have this experience.
Yeah.
If this works out the way I intend, and I think the way you intend, we'll have more than just this discussion. There'll be multiple discussions with Mary as she enlightens us all on yoga and whatever else is in your expertise domain. I'm really reaching for words there. My bad. We're going to learn from Mary.
Okay.
I'm going to learn, and you guys are going to learn.
We're going to learn together.
We're going to learn together.
No experts here.
Yeah, no experts.
Okay.
We're just hashing things out.
That's right.
But I'll ask you the questions then.
Okay.
5 of them. Number them.
Can't.
How does someone fail at balance?
Oh, okay. I mean, I think that's simple. You lean too much to one side. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're talking about this idea of navigating the challenging or suffering that's in the world, then you get consumed by that, right? And so that kind of goes back to something I mentioned in our pre-talk, where that might look like overwhelming sadness and anger. It's kind of debilitating, right?
Yeah.
And then the other side of that, I think this this has become like talked about more and more over the last however many years, but that's that idea of like toxic positivity, right? Where you don't look at the suffering. And so, yeah, you would fail by basically kind of leaning into one aspect or one side more, and it kind of is more consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balance is kind of, I think maybe failure also would entail a lack of awareness into where you are in relationship to that spectrum.
Right.
Because you might not even know
Right.
where you are. I mean, in yoga, it's easy, right? If I'm not in balance, I'm feeling gravity.
Right.
But I'm like a little scared. I'm like moving feet and trying to get them under me.
Which I bet we kind of simulate that in other ways, right? It's like, because you said, I get scared. I move my feet to try to catch myself.
Right.
And I think that shows up in other ways too, right? There's fear that happens and we try to like get back to our balance, but we may not really know like what's the cause of this or
we might not recognize
what's the underlying emotion or what's the event that led to it. We may not have that awareness. But I think one other thing I want to say about that is I think it's just part of human nature in life that we are going to kind of, one day we're a little bit over here and we're feeling a little consumed by the sadness. One day we're over here and we're like just, joyful or whatever it may be. But I think it's this idea of like kind of pendulating to where we spend a little bit more time kind of in the center. And so just like when you're doing, as you mentioned, like a standing balanced posture, the goal isn't to be perfectly still. The goal is to have a little bit of like wobble, but find your sense of stability. Because if you're still, you're kind of missing out a little bit on strengthening, if we're using that example.
Yeah.
Right. When there's a little bit of wobble, like sometimes I will intentionally create instability in whatever posture we're doing so that you can get, if we're talking about the physicality of it, you can get those muscles to like contract and then release because they're not able to fully hold it yet.
The stabilizers.
And then then they're strengthening through the process.
Yeah,
right?
We laid down on our back on the rolled up blanket. And you had us doing like the bicycle feet. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like on this teeter-totter. So that's a way in which you're inviting chaos while you're attempting to maintain balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think life can be like that too, right?
Yeah.
It's like if we stay in your comfort zone, you're not really kind of like expanding if we're talking about capacity, you're not expanding your capacity to hold more. Right.
Right.
And so in a similar way, it's like you want a little bit of challenge or resistance, just like within the posture that we were talking about.
Yeah. I wonder if where in yoga we have gravity being an indicator and like the muscles kind of doing that thing. I wonder in matters of the heart and of emotion, if the nervous system is telling us things with regard to where we are in balance.
I think so, yes, but maybe sometimes we're not exactly in tune or aware, right? Or we kind of have fallen into a pattern in our nervous system. I mean, I could go off on that, but yeah. That's the short answer.
Yeah. Well,
I know you have 4 more questions.
It's probably hard to. Okay, I'll move on in a second. But I got that. It's probably hard to hear that intuition and that nervous system in a world where we bombard and we distract and we with food and with alcohol or drugs or with video games or with scrolling, or it seems like we're constantly saying, I'm not going to sit with my nervous system and say, what's up in there, guy?
Right. I think there's that. And then the thing that I was kind of like about to get into, is I think we also have things that have been modeled to, in various ways that we pick up on. So for instance, like in my family, it was kind of modeled that you just go, like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Right. And there's not a lot of time to sit and be present with things. And I call it like over functioning, right? You over function because that's how you process, or not even process, but like that's how you manage things.
Survive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then that becomes like addictive to the nervous system, right? To
You've trained it what to expect. Yeah.
Right. And there's even a little bit of that, like kind of like adrenaline or stress response when you have a million things you got to do.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you actually slow down and start pay attention to the nervous system, it's interesting because when I first started doing that and I would slow down, my nervous system was like, oh my God, what am I forgetting? What do I need to do?
Because you needed to be in that state of stress in order to feel normal or at a base level.
Right.
You're almost training yourself to idle high.
Right, exactly.
And so when you try to down idle, you're like, wait a second, this isn't the way the engine runs.
Right. And I think there's people that do the opposite, right? They're like
regular.
low.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
Which it shows up in yoga. It's really interesting because what I first was drawn to a practice that was like that, very intense, and just move to the next posture. And probably what I needed was like restorative, right? Or yin.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. I see students that may primarily go to restorative or yin, and they actually might need something that's kind of what we would consider like up-regulating, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Question 2.
Yes.
What is yoga?
Oh, gosh. Is this like a 5-day long podcast?
Give me the elevator pitch. Yeah. Well, no, it will be. I think we'll probably learn what yoga is over the span of our relationship with the audience. And this will be the first kind of like volley of what yoga is in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. Can you nutshell it?
Man, I don't know, because this is something that even when I'm like trying to condense it, I end up talking about it for a really long time. Like I think about teacher training, when we have a short session on what is yoga, it's about an hour long.
Yeah.
So I think, it has meant different things at different points in time. It's like anything that if there's something that has been around for hundreds, thousands of years, it kind of changes based on the culture, based on, what's happening. So it's said that, there's this understanding like yoga is union or connection. And even that alone, if you look at it over time from different texts, it means different things, right? So today for me, and that's the other thing, like it can be very personal, right? So today for me, I think yoga is... it is a lot of different techniques and tools that help me feel more connected to my highest self. And I think that can be defined in many different ways. For someone, highest self is directly connected to God or consciousness, right? And then for others, it's like the best version of them, right? In any given moment. There is a spirituality aspect to it for me. But what I say like my highest self is soul or spirit, I don't really know. I don't have the answer to any of those, and I'm fine with not having the answer. So it's just connection to highest self for me. And yoga it's like the tools that can help me kind of feel more connected. It's the practice that keeps me more honest, right, about where I am in the world and who I am. And so I guess that's as concise as I can get. That's
a wonderful answer. Maybe I'll ask you that every time.
Might change.
Yeah, I hope it does. I think I'll ask everybody that because it's like, what does love mean?
Right. Yeah.
It is, it's a huge thing, yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And it can mean something different to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of those definitions valid as they bring that aspect of yoga to the world.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I thought you'd be like, yoga is these postures. You do this downward dog.
No.
You do this other thing. You
To me,
breathe.
that is not yoga.
That's not yoga.
No.
You breathe in relationship to movement.
That I would say that is the physical practice under this massive umbrella.
That's
of
what
yoga.
gets you to yoga.
It's one technique.
One technique.
Right. That can be utilized.
Does yoga encompass mindfulness and meditation?
I mean, so historically, the techniques, whether it's breathing, like pranayama, whether it's the asana, the physical postures, and then a wide variety of other techniques were used to then kind of prepare for some form of meditation. Right. And so today we often use this term mindfulness, I think, because there's a lot of like research behind it. It's more well known, but there's lots of different forms of meditation. Right. And so mindfulness could be considered like a specific type of meditation practice. But then it's also that term now I feel like is kind of like a way of living as well, like mindful eating, mindful walking, mindfulness in your day-to-day interactions. Right. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could also be a style thing too now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You get your
Yeah.
mindfulness purse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Number 3, how do you succeed at balance? Or a better question might be, what kind of rituals or behaviors or routines could someone invite into their life to find balance or strengthen balance?
Mm-hmm. If we're talking specifically about this idea of navigating the challenges as well as the joys of life, right? And being able to hold kind of equally without being overwhelmed or consumed or whatever it may be. I think it's an individual thing that we kind of have to figure out. And the first step is being aware. It's kind of like you were using the acronym RAIN, right? And I think that is kind of a needed process, right? So, for example, when I'm feeling anxious, if I'm able to be very aware, I know the signs. My chest will feel a little tight. My breath might feel short or just kind of constricted. I feel, this is hard to describe, but I feel like there's energy in my arms and legs that needs to be moved, right? So these are things that I can kind of pick up on, right? And so then what I would need to do is find some way to kind of like move that energy. So for me, sometimes it's this. It's like shaking out my arms, shaking out my legs. And then for the breath, I'll lay on a pillow, like basically a heart opener to feel more expansiveness and stretch and take really big breaths to try to stretch out the rib cage. And then it moves it somatically so that then when I start to take my awareness back, it's like, okay, it's kind of dissolved a little, that the somatic experience of anxiety, right? And then I might be able to be present with what is underneath that, whether it's a feeling about something or something that happened in my day, right? And so I can kind of sit with that without being, I don't know, consumed by the other aspects of the experience. So wait, what was the original question? How do you fail?
Well, yeah, it was really that was the first question, was how you fail. This one is really what kind of rituals, behaviors, routines can you invite in your life to nurture, strengthen, balance?
Okay. Yeah. So then I think
First one was awareness is what I heard.
Right.
Awareness of like, what are the precursors or what is the signals that my body gives me to know that I'm in need of balancing?
Right. Yeah. And then after the awareness is it's almost like a toolbox, right? That you can kind of pull from, having the tools you need to
shaking your body.
Right. Yeah. And that may look different from person to person. Like some people love running. And I think it's a similar thing for me is the shaking. They're moving their bodies in a way that kind of releases that energy.
You got to find your own unique toolkit, but the
awareness has to happen first.
The awareness, so strengthening awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's like knowing what's going on in your body when you're out of balance. Mm-hmm. So then how do you strengthen awareness?
Practice. You know? So taking time to be able to kind of drop in and notice what's showing up. And it's similar to like the practice of yoga where you can do the same posture every single day and it's going to feel differently based on what you ate in the morning, your car ride, if you're going to a public class, your car ride over, the stresses that are happening, like it's going to impact like how you experience that posture, right? Everything. Yeah. And so in a similar way, if we're trying to strengthen our awareness of what's happening internally, we need to do it consistently so we can start to recognize like, oh, I can feel the anxiousness here today. And then there's also maybe more information as to why, right? So I think the practicing again and again and again allows us to have a fine-tuned awareness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think of a body scan. Mm-hmm. Like as you were talking, it was almost an invitation for me to say, well, how am I feeling right now with Mary?
Right.
Sitting in this chair. Where in my body do I feel tense or where in my body do I feel relaxed? How am I breathing? And I like actually thoughtfully breathe. I was like, okay, let me take a couple of mindful breaths, which is just focused on that breath. It seems like those are some tools that are, I don't know, the words that come up are like Peter Levine or Basil Vanderkopf, this like kind of body keeps the score, like go to that body and say, what's happening in here? Because your mind is great for a lot of things, but it's probably not going to give you the answer here.
Yeah. And I think what happens over time is then it's easier to drop into that kind of awareness, you know? And then what happens after that is then it's easier to bring in whatever it is you need to feel a little bit more like settled or grounded or whatever it is.
The prescription.
Right, exactly.
Which is unique to the person, the context of the human.
Yes.
It could be yoga. It could be running. It could be... But we know things that we think it's going to be good. Like our society gives us a lot of things that we run to soothe the nervous system that I don't think end up being great for us.
Like what?
Drinking alcohol.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait. Where did you say that the society says?
Well, just they're prevalent.
Yes.
And they seem to be, I might not have said that correctly, but they're just prevalent. There seems to be cultural acceptance of them.
Yes.
Even maybe celebration of them. You know, the stressed out mom who's got the shirt on that says like wine for the wind day. And it's like, and you're not acknowledging, hey, you're probably really stressed out.
Right.
And your coping strategy right now is something that's going to impact your sleep in a negative way because alcohol is a sedative. It's not actually help you sleep, and it gives you less healthy sleep, and that's just going to be a downward spiral for your emotions the next day.
Yeah.
But we don't really talk about a lot of those things, and so we've normalized certain coping strategies that I think aren't in our best interest as a human. Alcohol being one of them, food, oftentimes sugar and stuff like that, and definitely social media and the doom scroll. You know, I've found myself on there too long.
Right.
So there's some like, I need to get a word bank of positive coping strategies and some kind of resilience or resistance to the ones that aren't, but I think are. I mean, how many times has a donut made me feel better? You know? Or just a grilled cheese sandwich or like a sugary treat.
Right. And I think there's also some things that we kind of know that are helpful, right? Through research or even just through practice. And And for some reason, those things are just not like wildly practiced or accepted, you know?
Yeah, maybe they're getting more. I
hope.
want to step into a world where they're becoming more accepted,
Right. Mm-hmm.
where there's just as many breathe T-shirts as they are wine T-shirts. And I'm not anti-wine anybody. Like,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I guess the intention,
Right.
like what brings you to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, that was some rituals, which were awareness, strengthening awareness, somatic, like what's going on in your body, investigating. And then the other one was come up with some strategies to neutralize or to bring yourself into balance. And it seems like most of them are movement.
Movement, I think, I think sometimes when like we're upregulated, like our system, like what I described, like, feeling that weird kind of like energy in my arms and legs, feeling the constriction in my chest. I think movement's great for things like that. It kind of like moves that type of energy. But what you just did earlier, like the deep breath, right? I think breathing, of course, and that breathing has been researched quite a bit. Meditation, and there's different forms of meditation, right? And so, and even that can be prescriptive, right? Because for some people, the more like mindfulness type meditation practices where they're kind of witnessing the thoughts that are surfacing, or or there's like, breath-based practices may not be as effective as like, say, like the metta meditation where someone's focusing on
loving kindness,
right? Or there's imagery of like going to your safe place, which I find that one really helpful when the nervous system is dysregulated.
Visualization,
Right. And so, I think all of those are kind of rituals and tools, but they can be chosen based on what feels more beneficial.
Yeah.
And even like what is easier in the beginning, right? Because I remember when doing teacher training, like the teachers that were soon to be teachers would talk about how the breathing techniques would actually make them anxious, because that was the first time they were controlling their breath. And so holding the breath out would create a little bit of anxiety. And then so that's like counterproductive, right? And so in the beginning, things may be effective that later on shift or change. And so for them, it's like, well, don't hold the breath, just focus on taking a longer inhale and exhale, right? And then maybe later on you add some like pauses. And so that goes back to awareness. Because you got to know as in different phases of life and different, things need to shift and change.
Is this still working for me?
Right.
Is this, when you try something, there's got to be that like follow-up of or retrospective of, did that work for me?
Right.
How did that impact my nervous system? How did that impact my current state? And then, so it starts with that awareness. You got to have that strong awareness to then check back in to know whether it goes into that healthy routine category. Yep. I like it. Fourth question is, let's see, yoga balance. Yoga balance. What do you think a good question is? What question would you ask yourself right now? I'm thinking one too, but if you come up with it first.
I'm not going to.
What?
Yeah.
You're like, no.
No.
Well, okay. Well, the good question would be, man, what kind of things happen when you're out of balance?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
You're like popping off at the grocery store. All right. It's like grocery register person just trying to sell you some baguette.
Wait, what?
A baguette, some bread, some milk, whatever you're buying. I don't know what you buy. Staples.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're getting a little
sass.
A little sassafras.
Yeah.
How's that happen?
Yeah. So I think we were talking in our pre-talk about how just to give you like a personal example, when I started working at the shelter and I started to expand my awareness of the suffering that was happening in the world and hearing stories, right? I would feel really sad, like overwhelmingly sad, right? And I noticed it kind of impacting like watching my kids and not feeling the same level of joy. And there's also some like secondary trauma that's happening because as I'm watching them play, sometimes I would, think about like what's happening to the kids
in other places in the world.
Right. And I would even see that happening kind of in front of me sometimes, right? And so that would diminish my ability to feel, joyful or happy in those moments, like even when the kids are laughing, right? And then going back to what I said earlier, well, then I'm trying to move through my day and get through the world and do all the things. And I remember going to my son's OT appointment and I couldn't pay online for some reason. And you have to wait outside the office. They don't let you in. They'll come get the kid and take them in. So I called ahead of time to say, hey, can I come inside to pay you? I'm having trouble online. I only have Apple Pay. I don't have my card right now. And they're like, sure. So I rearrange plans. I get there early so I can take the 10 minutes to go inside. And then the lady's like, oh, we don't have Apple Pay. And in that moment, I got so angry. It's like, I rearranged my day. I'm here 10 minutes early.
You went Karen. You turned into a Karen?
Yeah. And it was like, I was like, I called earlier. I asked, and the person's like, well, you didn't say Apple Pay. You said, can I pay in person? I was like, fine. And I walked out, right?
You find them?
Yes, I did. And then I got into the parking lot and I was like, wow, that was not about them.
You just did that, Mary.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so then I sat in my car and I took a few moments to feel, it's like, I'm feeling really angry right now. And it's not about them. Like, what is it about, And I, of course, quickly realized it's like, well, I'm angry at the world,
The world.
Yeah, and I'm not in balance. Like I'm holding on to a lot of the sadness and the suffering, and I haven't allowed myself to feel like the joy of my kids laughing, right? And so I was angry. And sad, really sad. Yeah, truly sad. And the anger was just
a crust.
Right.
A protective emotion on top of a deep sadness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think that when we're not in balance, that's what it looks like, And then going back to this idea of like yoga and connection, that's not my highest self. That's not my best version of me, right? And so I think then kind of going back to the tools that help me to feel in like more familiar, like modern terms, like to help me feel more regulated.
Yeah.
Right. Or in other terms, it's like to feel more centered. Because if I was centered and kind of feeling more grounded when I had walked into that, I'd been like, oh, okay, no big deal.
Yeah, acceptance. Quick to acceptance.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to anger your way into them taking Apple Pay.
Right.
Well, I did all these things. Okay, well, we'll take Apple Pay now.
Yeah.
That was psych.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought of the meditation you discussed earlier where you sit and a thought will come up and you'll kind of go into it and then notice you're in this thought and then kind of extract yourself and go back to the deep void of meditation before the next cloud comes in and you go straight into it. And I think about that in relationship to the trials and tribulations of the world, especially now.
Yeah.
I can wake up 5 minutes into a rant.
What do you mean?
Like I will have talked about how capitalism is ruining every aspect of the human experience, from the medical industry to therapy to education and to definitely food supply, like how we're managing and providing food for people. And I will have ranted and just be on some autopilot hate rant about the world and society and all that, and kind of wake up in it and be like, whoa, I'm angry.
Yes.
I'm sad.
Oh, I see what you mean now. Yes.
I'm angry. I'm sad at what feels like a disconnection between, I don't know, healthy living and life and people and all that. And why can't I get connected and all that? And it comes across as this, I'm ranting. I imagine a lot of people are doing that now.
Yes. Yes.
They wake up and it's like, I've been ranting for 4 months now.
Right.
What happened to my humanity and a world where there is all of those things? I just need to balance life out, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Life is all of those things, and it's all of the other things. It is community. It is connection. It is empathy. It is compassion. It is, helping someone without any expectation. It is deep breath. So I don't know. I don't know where I was going there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, we're all here for different reasons, and we're all here to do whatever it is that, we feel passionate about. And I think that we can't do that if we are, consumed by the sadness or consumed by anger, And so I think, especially right now when we're talking about, the rant, right? It's like, well, if we do want to do something about any of these things, then we better well be like pretty sourced and grounded, because it's a long process, right?
Right.
And so
you could channel that into advocacy.
Right.
You could channel that into some healthy places, but you're probably going to need to balance yourself because it's a long journey.
Right.
In other areas.
Or whatever it is. Like, maybe it's not advocacy work. Maybe it's parenting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's raising. Yeah. Well, that definitely will impact the future.
Right.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride.
Of pride. To make it easier?
Easier.
Yeah.
I would start to get fuzzy with
right
it
there,
at that point. What do you think your purpose is? What do you think you're here to do? Do you have a...
I don't know. I mean...
I get glimpses of it every now and again?
Yeah, I do. To raise more emotionally mature and aware men, because I have 2 boys.
There it is.
Yep.
You can raise a third one if you want.
No, thanks.
This one.
The adult men, I'm done raising.
Oh, my God. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We still need you.
I think also, I don't know. I know what it is, but I don't know how to put it into words, right? But I think that I feel like I've had many lifetimes in my one life, right? And
in this life.
Like 9 lives, right? In this life. And I feel like I have been lucky to have tools to, I think I said like up level, earlier.
Yeah. Continue to evolve and to, hold the more that life has given you. Right?
Like, for example, I'm surprised that I lived past 20 whatever. Like, what is that goal? That like number 27, right?
Yeah, when all the rock stars die.
Right. Not that I was a rock star.
Jimi Hendrix,
I tried
Janis
to live
Joplin,
like one.
yeah.
Kurt
Cobain, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, wow, I actually made it past 27. Also, I'm a pretty, I don't know, I'm a functioning adult. I have children and they're doing okay. And I have a house. Not that that means anything, but I just never expected any of that for myself, right? Especially like my childhood was pretty rough for a while, right?
We'll skip to that life story and hear this wild, no, just kidding. Yeah, so it sounds like this is all unexpected. You've been able to move through, survive, and then come into a thrive stage of life.
Maybe, hopefully, yeah. But anyways, I think that like part of my purpose is like, I don't know, sharing just the joys and being supportive of people going through the challenging aspects in a way where hopefully on the other side we come out a little better, maybe thriving, I don't know.
Yeah.
But whether that's through like teaching yoga and helping people with like specific tools, or like working at the shelter, I think I have a good ability to kind of hold space for people no matter what they've experienced. And maybe that goes back to the fact that like, growing up, I experienced a lot. And so I can kind of hold space for those that are also experiencing some trauma, right?
Yeah.
So the purpose is somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I like it. You guys heard all that. Y'all synthesize what Mary said and share her purpose in the comments.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Well, ask them. They'll do it. You guys, look at them. They're in there.
And there.
You can synthesize.
Mm-hmm.
It's in there.
Mm-hmm.
A little puzzle. Question 5. Man, I really like laughing with you. I like this. Mm-hmm. This is fun being with you. Is there a religion or is there a religion that underpins your practice?
A religion.
Mm-hmm. I think yoga was developed in the Hindu religion. Mm-hmm. No?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then it also there's like Buddhism has really taken it on, and now it's almost not. It's like secular with John Kabat-Zinn, or no, he does the meditation, but it seems like it's real secular in America,
right?
But I guess I just wonder if there's and you can pass on any of these questions. You don't have to answer any of them, but I'm just curious.
Not for me.
Okay.
No, at one point there was, like I was very much into studying the Bhagavad Gita.
That's Hindu?
So Hindu is kind of that's a tricky term.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It's tricky.
So and so we'd have to kind of get into like a history lesson to explore that, which I don't want to today.
We're not going to do that today.
Yeah.
Look out for part 2 of this next session. Where we learn Hinduism.
Nope.
Hard pass.
Yeah. So,
but you were studying the Bible.
So at one point, yes, right? But now I think I wouldn't consider myself religious. I would consider myself spiritual.
Right.
Right. And so, my kids ask me this all the time because they say, which God is the right God is the question I get, right?
That's a good 5th question. Dang.
Right. And so like, if they were to ask my mom would say the Christian God, right? Yeah. That's the God. And so they always say, well, Mom, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't have the answer. I think that all I can do is drop into what feels right in this moment or intuitively. Yeah. I don't say all those words to my like 7-year-old. I basically say, I think they're all right. I think, and in fact, like if we look at the different texts, there's some similarity in what Buddha says and what Jesus says. A lot of similarity, right? And so I think, like all of these people that have all of these things to say, they're coming from the same source, whatever that is, and I don't know. Maybe when I die, I'll know, or maybe not. Maybe I'll be bumped into the next lifetime and I won't know then either.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
A lot of the time. Yeah.
A lot of the time. Mm-hmm. You think it's like an animal or another human, or it could be anything? Like, does it look a certain way for you?
No. Honestly, it's like sometimes I have like made eye contact with my pet and I'm like, oh.
You're my grandmother, my great grandmother.
I'm like, you've been here before.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then other times I'm like, I don't know. Does it make sense that you could come back as an animal or that you were an animal before? I don't know. Who am I to know these things? I don't know. So... yeah, I just think that there is some source. I don't know what it is. I know when I feel more connected to it.
Yeah.
And I know when I don't.
Yes.
Right?
And you probably feel better when you feel connected to it and a little
Right.
bit less when you're not.
Right. And then I also know that, what all of these people, children of whoever, the source,
Yeah.
like Buddha and Jesus, like
Yeah.
when they say something that really feels like truth, and it's like, well, how can they be saying the same thing and it feels so true, right? But yet only one has the right answer or the right God. That doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, spiritual but not religious, and religion to me just doesn't feel right.
Right.
Because it's almost like negating some aspect of the truth.
Yeah, I like it. And have you, I hate to use the word synthesize again. I just used it recently, but have you synthesized the positive from a bunch of your studies to bring about your own version of spirituality that takes from all of these and says, like, I'm just going to take the good and leave the bad and develop my own kind of, and maybe it's not even codified. It's just swirling around in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know if I have a longer answer for that.
Yeah. That's 5 questions.
Oh, okay. And they're different every time.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. I mean, they might be. Some of them are like, how do you fail and how do you succeed are there most times, every time. And then the other ones, I just I like knowing rituals for whatever. If people have like a morning routine that gets them to a state of intuition or whatever the fail is, like, how do you get to that fail? How did you get there? Like, they're similar. I'm going to move this down a little bit, but we're done with that section. And in this section, I normally do. I notice you're looking over at me, so your face is this way more. I'm not going to push you closer. I promise you I won't. Is that closer?
No, that's okay.
Just because you're looking at me, which is great. But I just want the mic to be there. I want people to hear you clearly. That laugh, I want to catch that in all its fidelity. Because it'll be uplifting to all these people.
That's funny. I remember somebody once told me my laugh is very loud. And so that's just kind of what stuck.
What does it even mean?
I don't know.
It's like a volume thing? What, do they got a dB meter over there? Like, I think it hit 4.5 on the dB meter, Mary. That's like
right.
I think it's kind of under like a low-key mean, too.
Right. I know. I was like, I'm not sure how to.
Were they trying to meditate at the time and you're just laughing?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't take that one in. I would take other ones.
Okay.
I've given you a handful of them now.
Yes.
Take those in.
Okay.
Forget the loud one. That's garbage. Feedback. Garbage. Yeah.
So
okay.
What is part 2?
Well, normally during this section, we play improv games. But what we're going to do is we're going to...
Oh my God, I should have researched this more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Improv? Well, also you've been asking me for words, and if I knew that was a thing, I probably would have thought of some words ahead of time.
You would have thought of words ahead. You can't do that. This is a present moment experience.
Oh, okay.
People have asked me to like work together to like talk about what we're going to talk about. I'm like, I don't really do that.
Okay.
It's like be here now.
All right.
This is a mindful practice.
Okay. I'm ready.
If the word doesn't come, then we don't get that word from you, Mary.
Okay.
But we're not going to play improv games because we're going to improv sharing some information about studio. And now I get low-key anxiety every time I say this word, but it's Studio Satya.
Yeah, great.
I did it?
Yep.
Studio Satya. It is a yoga studio here in Austin, Texas that Mary is a co-owner of and a yoga teacher there.
Yes.
And we're going to do a little not commercial, but like we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
I want people to know about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm working with Mary and Holly and Carly. I hope they're not in any particular order.
No.
Carly, Mary, Holly. I feel like I got to say them in all the orders. But I'm working with them on my journey of better understanding yoga and having a better practice with yoga in my own kind of pathway to my optimal self. And so I'm going to be talking to them, all of them probably in that seat. And today, Mary's in that seat. Let's talk about Studio Satya.
Okay.
What does Satya mean?
Truth.
Satya means truth.
Truthfulness. Yeah. Yeah. And that name came about, well, one, there was a little bit of drama in the yoga world in Austin when a really well-known studio closed, Yoga. There were multiple locations, and all three of us taught there at different locations, and I taught there for many years, and it didn't end well, and so there was some financial stuff I think that was going on with the owner. I'm not going to get into all the drama, but it did not end well. And and lots of people were kind of impacted. Teachers, of course, students that have been going for a very long time. And there was some misinformation, some lies,
Fake news.
Well, no, it was actually from the owner himself.
Oh, goodness.
As he was like trying to keep it going, although I don't know if he was actually trying to keep it going, but so I think there was some embezzlement there. And so after that, everybody was like, "Wow, I can't believe this place that, supported so many people on their yoga journey and healing and whatever, yoga meant to them, like for so many years, ended in that way, right? It was sad. And so when I was thinking, as it was coming to an end, I kind of knew that I wanted to open up a studio. And I thought, what do I want the studio to be about? And the first thing that came to my mind was truth, like it really being what yoga is meant to be, right? Which was, not how the previous kind of studio ended. And so that word came to my mind because of, what had recently happened, but then also because I wanted a space where all of the traditions of yoga were still present. And so that means a practice that is really emphasizing meditation, and where there's actual learning in regards to the history of yoga or the texts, where there's chanting and mantra, which, is kind of hard to find, right? So that's all part of the name. So it opened in 2019 and was open for 4 months, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Studio Satya is located in North Austin on Anderson Lane.
Yes.
What's the address?
1308 Anderson Lane.
1308 Anderson Lane. And you can go there physically to take classes.
Yep.
But you can also visit virtually. You can do online classes at Studio Satya. You can do on-demand.
Yes.
Is there on-demand classes as well?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't
That's
have to
all
be,
thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah, you don't have to be in Austin.
Yeah. You can be anywhere
to participate. And the things that Studio Satya every time I'm going to get
You're
there.
doing it. So just let it go. You're doing it. Yeah.
The things y'all focus on are yoga, meditation. It sounded like some chanting and mantra.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What else? What makes you guys unique? You just kind of said a little bit. Community.
Yeah. So that was another aspect of this idea of truthfulness, is that we can find truth and our connection to highest self through community, right? When you're feeling supported and heard and all the things. And so community is a big piece of the studio's mission and what we focus on. So there's book clubs and potlucks. We used to do a regular yoga for good class where we would highlight an organization that's doing good in the community, and all the funds would go to that, and that was free. Things that focus on building community and then really just kind of pulling in all the different techniques and tools of yoga, breathing, chanting, moving. Yeah.
Sangha.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's the word?
Mm-hmm.
Part of this sharing of Studio Satya is we're going to have fun with Sanskrit words now.
Okay.
We're going to try to have fun with Sanskrit words.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are like me. If you've been to yoga and all of a sudden the yoga teacher or instructor starts like saying some weird kind of Klingon language, that's Sanskrit, probably, right?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. They'll be like, we go into chair pose and they like saying something and I'm like,
yes,
okay,
yes,
that
yes.
just means chair pose. And I'm like, I don't even know.
Right.
Or downward dog or these other ones. There's this like other string of syllables and stuff
Yes.
that mean that for them. And I'm always just like confused during that part.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all gonna demystify some of those strange utterances.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that?
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Which is the most prevalent? What would you say?
Oh gosh.
Your smile. Which are the 5 most prevalent Sanskrit words in yoga, do you think? Which ones do you say?
5
Well, you could, or
prevalent?
10, I don't care. The numbers are
okay.
arbitrary. Which ones do you use the most in yoga?
Okay, let's see. Well, the 5 that I use are probably not the most common. I don't use a whole lot of Sanskrit when I'm talking about the postures.
Okay.
And so that might be more common in other classes where they're using the names of the postures. So like you said, chair pose, and they may say chair and then Utkatasana, right?
Utkatasana.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Did I say it right? Utkatasana
Yes.
is chair pose.
It's actually fierce pose. But yeah, I think we refer to it as chair because it's...
Well, sitting down without a chair is a fierce posture.
Yes, there you go.
Because there's not a chair there, y'all.
No.
Not a chair there anywhere to be found. But you're pretending you're in a chair.
Right.
And that's some fierceness right there.
Yeah.
Utkatasana.
Yeah.
Utkatasana. Chair pose.
Yeah. So I think that's probably most common is like hearing the asana names, right? Okay, that's a word, asana, right?
Asana. That's a Sanskrit word.
Yeah. So
Asana
it means like
means
posture.
Posture.
Yeah.
Asana.
And that one's often mispronounced as asana.
Asana.
Yeah.
Like what the Dutch people go into during the wintertime to warm up their body. But it's not. It's asana.
Right.
Asana.
Yes.
It means posture.
Right.
Utkatasana means chair pose.
Fierce pose.
Fierce pose. It means fear pose.
Right, yeah.
Fierce pose.
Yeah, but
Utkatasana.
yes. It is the chair pose.
It is the chair pose, but it doesn't mean chair pose. It means fierce pose.
Or something like that.
Utkatasana, fierce pose, aka chair pose. Asana, posture.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Another one that I might use. I often say the pranayama practice sama vritti. And so sama's, like same or
Sama vritti.
equal. Uh-huh.
You put a little roll on it. Vritti.
Uh-huh.
Sama vritti. Did that do right?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Sama vritti. Mm-hmm.
Sama vritti. What's that mean?
So sometimes vritti is translated as like a fluctuation. So for instance, in the Yoga Sutras, it says like chitta vritti, and it's referring chitta's mind. And so it's like the activity of the mind, the fluctuations, the thoughts, right?
Okay.
So here it's referring to the breathing technique of equal breath. And so you can imagine like the inhale and the exhale. I visualize like the undulation of the breath, it being equal or same.
Okay.
So it's as if you just inhale to like a 4 count and you exhale
to a 4 count.
Right.
And that's sama vritti.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the other one was chitta vritti?
Yeah, and so that's the mind fluctuations or the activity, right?
Sama
thoughts, yeah.
Sama vritti is the balancing the breath,
right?
The fluctuations of the breath being equal.
Yeah.
Sama vritti. Okay, go back to the beginning. We got Utkatasana, fierce pose. Asana, posture.
Yeah.
Sama vritti is the fluctuations of the breath, breathing.
Yeah.
And you said another one that I think is a Sanskrit word, pranayama.
Yes.
Did I say that right? Pranayama?
So you remember earlier when I was saying how there are these words that I've heard for decades, right? Or 2 decades, however long, that are mispronounced often. And then I have to kind of go back and like actually look at the letters in Sanskrit to see how to pronounce it. So that's one of them. In my mind, the 2 vowels are long, like pranayama. But I don't think that's right. So I'd actually have to look at the actual...
The word?
Yeah, in Sanskrit to then know how to pronounce it.
Can we look it up?
You can, yeah.
Okay. While I do that, think of your next word to teach me.
Okay.
would I spell
So
this?
one that is commonly mispronounced is well, let me see how you say it. What is the word for the verses that you may repeat over and over again, like chant? What is the word for that?
Like a mantra?
There you go. Mantra. So that A is actually short. So it's mun instead of mon. So mantra instead of mantra.
Okay. There's just a bunch of lines and weird stuff there. I don't even know. It seemed like
Yeah. So that's what.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. So you see the line over the A? That means it's long.
Okay.
So ah rather than
Okay. So
Yep. Prana.
Yama.
Right. So earlier I mispronounced it because I said pranayama.
Yeah.
Right.
Pranayama.
So it's supposed to be pranayama.
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 Yes.
And that means breath. Does that mean breath?
No. It's if you hear it in a yoga class, it's referring to a breathing practice.
It's a breathing practice.
Yes. Yeah.
Pranayama.
That's not the literal translation, but yes.
Yeah,
it's
breathing
like a
practice.
breathing practice.
Utkatasana, fierce pose, asana, posture. Oh man. Vritti. Samavritti. That one almost sounds like kind of Transylvanian, vritti. Or Russian. Samavritti.
You don't have to roll as much, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'm just like having fun with it.
You are, and that's fine. Yeah.
Samavritti.
Yeah.
Is the fluctuations of the breath and then being in balance.
Same breath, yeah.
And then pranayama is a breath practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's 4. And you were talking about the 5th, but I wasn't listening because I was looking on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
They were listening.
Yeah. So it is.
Bring me up to speed.
It is the word. So you pronounce it mantra, right?
Oh, mantra.
Yeah. But the A is short. So it's mantra.
Mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Mantra.
Yeah.
Mantra.
Yeah.
And that's like a chant that we would do.
Mm-hmm.
Mantra.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some poses. These people might hear when they're doing yoga at their studio. They'd hear Utkatasana. I've heard that one.
Yes.
Fierce pose.
Yes.
Utkatasana. And I've heard asana. And pranayama.
Mm-hmm.
What's another what's another pose that's Sanskrit-y?
Okay, let's see. One that you will hear often, I guess. I don't know what's out there these days.
Yeah.
I don't take classes outside. It's downward facing dog.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's our home base in yoga.
And this is another one that is mispronounced often. And so in my head, I don't think I have it correctly stored.
Yeah.
So you might have to look it up on your phone.
Do I look up downward facing dog? Is that how do you pronounce it?
I think it's ado, but it could be short A, which is ado. And then it's Mukha Svanasana. I know I picked that one specially for you because the last one is always fun for people.
Here, I got a little picture of it.
Okay.
The name, the pronunciation, and the meaning. There it is. Picture of it.
Okay. Yeah, so it is a short.
Mary, for all you guys to know now, she's reading Sanskrit. She's not an expert, y'all, but she is an expert.
I am not at all.
She's reading it.
I can read a few asana names at this point.
Okay.
I've lost all my skills.
She's lost all of her skills.
All of them. So it is a short A. So it's ado.
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 Adoa.
No.
Ado.
Okay, hold on.
Ado.
Yes.
A deer, a female deer, a ray, a drop of golden sun.
Adoa?
Ado.
Ado. Mukha. Svanasana.
Svanasana.
Yeah, that was good.
Ado.
Ado.
Ado, Mukha, Svanasana.
No, Svanasana.
Svanasana.
Yeah. It might help you if you look at the lines.
Oh my goodness, those lines are, okay.
So you see how the line over the A, that's ah. And then the little
Are you looking at the letters? Or are you looking at the? Oh my goodness, you're in the
Both.
wrong place. What the heck? I'm sorry. Get out of there. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know how you get to Udo from that. There's U with the line over it. RDHVA.
Wait, you're on a different one. That's Urdhva. That's a different posture. Where are you now?
Oh, it's this one right here.
Yeah, you're on a different posture.
Isn't that
That's upward facing.
Oh, my bad. Udo.
Downward.
Okay, you're right. My bad. I got to go downward. Here's downward.
There you go.
Udo.
Uh-huh.
Mukha.
Uh-huh.
Shvasana.
Shwan.
Shvan. Asana.
Asana.
Shvan. Because you got asana in there. Posture.
Right.
Right? So
right.
Udo.
Udo. Okay.
Udo. Mukha.
Uh-huh. Shwanasana.
Swanasana.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Swanasana. Svanasana. Shvanasana. Do. Look at that face. I'm gonna get there. Just
yeah.
Utkatasana, okay?
Yeah, you got it.
Fierce pose.
Mm-hmm.
Asana, posture.
Yeah.
Pranayama.
Pranayama.
Pranayama is the breath practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Mita. No, not Mita. That was the brain one. That was the fluctuations of the brain.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Vritti.
Samavritti
is the balancing of the breath, making them equal.
Okay.
And then we did mutra.
No, we didn't, but that's a good one.
You mantra. You said mutra.
Mantra.
Mudra. This might take.
Else,
okay, this might take a bit, but mutra.
You're doing great.
Mutra.
Mm-hmm.
Ado. Mukha. Udo.
See?
Udo.
I didn't correct you and you did it on your own. Mm-hmm.
Svanasana.
So that S, think of it as like shh.
Sha.
So
Shvan.
Yes.
This isn't something we say in English. We never shvan. Shvanasana. This just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm stretched outside of my comfort zone here, and that's what you guys tune in for. Y'all tune in for that. Me failing at Sanskrit. Udo, Mukha, Shvanasana.
Woohoo!
It's like a skateboard trick. I'm like trying to do an ollie.
Uh-huh.
And I might do it.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm like rolling up to it. I'm like, Udo, Mukha, Shvanasana.
Yeah.
Shavanasana.
No.
You
did it right the first time.
Sometimes I get the trick.
Yeah,
sometimes I don't get the trick.
That's okay, right?
Shvanasana.
And then one day you just keep getting the trick. You just keep
getting it right.
Yeah. It's like over and over and over. And,
okay.
And then you're an expert.
Then I'm an expert. That is Sanskrit time with Mary. We learned about it.
So we're doing a series of these and we're not doing that again.
We're not? We got to do more of them. There's more poses for me to learn.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't like it?
It was okay.
It was a bad experience for you?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Why'd you say that then? Just to be a little sassy?
Yeah.
Was that sassy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to learn. I didn't even learn child's pose.
Don't
tell me now I'm fold up.
Okay.
You just keep that one under your hat.
Mm-hmm.
There's like that one. There's a bunch of them.
There is a bunch. Yeah. At this point, like, who knows how many?
If I've thought of yoga, this is all the part where we're kind of sharing the beauty and wonder of Studio Truth. It's an easier word to say. Studio Satya. And they're on North Anderson, on Anderson Lane, kind of in between North Lamar, and like Burnett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Closer to North Lamar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A cool little studio. I've been in there. Man, it's so cool. It has like a nature vibe. There's like plants hanging from the ceiling. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like toddler yoga, like with crawlers. What do you call that one?
Toddler and crawler.
Toddler and crawlers. There's like
toddler,
prenatal. So if you're pregnant, it's like all different stages of life.
Yeah.
Like if you're pregnant and you want to do yoga, there's someone that supports you there. If you have young kids and you want to do yoga, there's toddlers and crawlers, and they happen to get excited during the Shavasana, which is kind of cool. It invites you into acceptance during your like meditative death pose. Yeah. There's also like a bunch of types of yoga, from activating and more. This is we're gonna talk about this with either another one of you, either Carly will talk to me about this, or Holly, or the next time we talk. But like the different types of yoga, whether it's yin, restorative,
hatha,
vinyasa, all of the different kinds. And like I want them to know, and I want to know, well, how are they different? But you guys offer all of them.
Yes.
And you offer them darn near during every day part. You guys have them in the morning all the way into the evening, every day of the week, 7 days a week, which is pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like any day of the week, there's going to be an in-person and virtual yoga that folks can attend.
Yeah. And we're hoping to add more too, you know. You are? Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have 7:30, for instance, like PM classes, and students have said.
Let me help you with that pronunciation.
Yeah, help me.
Said. It's good.
Thanks.
Said.
Students have said. They want more evening classes. So even though it may feel like they're at every time of the day, there's room for growth there.
There's room for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could take it online anywhere in the world, or you could take it here in Austin. It's a really cool experience I've had, and I'm excited to continue having, is showing up and filling that room with mats and having a cool experience. Anything else you want to share with people as you're kind of celebrating your studio?
I think you've said it all. Different types.
The location. Community.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's. Yeah.
We're going to continue sharing aspects with everyone I talk to, and I'm even going to wear the gear. They've got the coolest merchandise. Their symbol is like, is it a lotus?
It's
flower?
Like lotus petals.
Around, it's the coolest. Y'all's like branding is really cool. I love it, and the colors y'all chose. So there's that too. If you want to get styly, you can get studio swag. Swag off. I was supposed to wear some today, but I forgot. I also left my mat at the studio. I think it's there, or it's in the parking lot. I don't know where it is.
I'm sure it's there.
I imagine it's got my name on it. So, okay.
Do
you feel good about the improv part?
Yeah, that wasn't at all what I was expecting. I thought we were gonna like do something.
I do normally do something, but we filled that time with talking about something we did was improv for me. I don't know how to Sanskrit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure, that works.
Kind of fun and play. We can do the improv part next time.
Okay.
Yeah, we play games like Meerkat. We're like, you're so expressive. Your nonverbal communication is just like it's kind of fear, but also like fun fear.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm feeling right now.
Meerkat is like
what is meerkat?
Meerkat is not the animal meerkat, it's mirror cat.
Oh,
mirror cat.
I thought we were okay.
Yeah, you thought we were gonna be like, I'm a meerkat. No, like it's like one person will move and the other one will mirror them.
Okay.
And then at a certain point, without communicating, they'll take the reins, and then it'll switch from mirror to.
And how long do you do this?
It's just I feel it.
Okay.
We feel it. Both people feel it as long as it's fun. I did improv for a long time. It was part of my kind of spiritual journey.
Carly does improv, or used to.
Boom.
So she'd be the perfect person for this meerkat situation.
Well, I plan to play improv games with all of y'all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I get a vote?
You do get a vote.
Okay.
You can always opt out of these things.
Okay, awesome.
But yeah, Meerkat was one of them. The other is Sound Ball, where we like send a sound and a gesture back and forth.
Oh,
like
wow.
I send one to you, you mirror it, you do it, and you make the sound, and then you come up with your own one and you send it back to me.
That sounds fun. I might do that
It
one.
is fun.
Okay.
The other one is convergence, where we say a word and we both say a word and we try to converge our word to be the same word, also known as mind meld.
Oh.
There's a handful of
You got
them.
a lot of them.
I got a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them. And you know what? Improv is a mindful practice.
Yeah.
Being here now,
Yes.
taking in the other and letting them influence you and building a world together and breathing
Sold.
and being scared. You're scared. How many times have I gone up to the front of the improv line where I was going next, and instead of paying attention to the performance or the people playing in front of me, I was just thinking about what I was going to do.
Uh-huh.
And then I get to the front, and my practice is if I've done that, I got to throw that down. I got to put that aside and pull it from the dark void of my, my whatever, and come up with something new. Trust myself to go from nothing to something in a moment. How often we're improving life
That's true.
if we're doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's that Ram Dass, be here now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, life story time.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How you feel about talking about your life story?
I find that to be more easily approachable.
You do?
Yeah. Then yeah.
I want to share a disclaimer first. I was going to share this later, but what I've noticed is with folks that talk about their life story, afterwards they'll have a bit of a hangover, like an authenticity or vulnerability hangover. They'll say, well, I shared something that I'm now ruminating about, thinking I shared too much, or someone might see this and it might impact my relationship somewhere else. So I want to let you know that first, because I want you to leave here happy or at least comfortable with what you shared. Folks have shared all kind of different stuff about because we started childhood and I like to understand.
Oh, really? You go way back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think primary conditioning occurs in the home. Most of the people I talk to are seekers, and normally that comes from some original trauma or original kind of rupture between their caregiver. And I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
And that can be a sensitive subject. So you don't have to talk about anything. You can talk about whatever you're comfortable talking about.
Okay.
But I'll ask you those questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Kentucky. Is that like coal mine country? I don't know anything about Kentucky. I don't know about Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, we moved when I was 4.
Okay. So where would you spend most of your life?
We moved around. So my mom was a single mom for a large portion, and then she was married 4 times. And so with being a single mom, we would move to wherever she could get a better paying job. Or if she was getting married, then we might move with her spouse, right? So we moved around a lot. So until I arrived in Austin, I would say I don't really know where I would name my home. So yeah, we moved from Bowling Green to Reno, Nevada, and then we just kind of bounced around. We spent a lot of time in North Carolina and South Carolina for a portion. My mom now lives in Nashville, and my dad lives still in Bowling Green. So yeah.
What was that like?
Moving around.
Did you have siblings or was it you?
I had a younger brother. He's 4 years younger.
And y'all moved around together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like? I imagine that'd be stressful.
When you're young, that's all you know, right? Yeah. So you don't think oh, this is stressful. This is just life, right? So I think at certain points I liked it because I was exposed to different cultures, different places. And it kind of instilled in me a desire to travel, to be in challenging situations where you kind of have to figure it out with a new culture or a new town or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then other parts, it was really hard. I remember when we moved to, Franklin, Tennessee. Well, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna get lost in the details. But we moved to Franklin, and Franklin is kind of a richer town,
more affluent.
And yeah, I think because maybe there's a lot of country music art. I actually have no idea why it is the way that it is.
There's more money there.
But there's more money there. And we were poor, and I was the new kid on top of being noticeably poor, like in what I wore, my hair, all of it, right? And so that was hard because I got picked on. So sometimes being the new kid was challenging, but yeah, I never really thought about it being stressful. It's just what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So poor. That had been, what was that like?
That was hard. I remember we lived in a trailer in North Carolina, and I remember my mom really struggling, and we sometimes wouldn't have food, and there may be things like in the cupboard, like an old box of macaroni and cheese and like a can of tuna or something, right? And so my mom, her name is Mary Ann Conyers. Now she's Richardson, but she would go by Mac. And she would make what was called Mac Surprise. And my brother and I knew, we're like, oh no.
Whatever was in the pantry?
It's like whatever was in the pantry. And sometimes it was good and sometimes it was disgusting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so I was aware. I knew. It was like that we didn't have money and that it was a struggle for my mom. And sometimes I didn't feel safe. And so that was challenging too.
You didn't feel safe.
Yeah, like I remember one time being like we were in the trailer and maybe we had a babysitter, but I don't remember there being an adult there. And somebody came to the trailer, and I think he was obviously intoxicated, and he was demanding that we let him in. And so maybe he didn't realize that was in his trailer, But I remember feeling really scared, and there were lots of moments like that, just not feeling safe,
Because you're in environments that are probably depressed. Well, but financial, I don't know if this is true, but places that have less money or wealth tend to have probably more crime and addiction, or at least that crime and addiction is more outside of the home. It's like more, I think rich people have just as much addiction and crime. It's just different crime. It's like white collar crime, and the addiction is in their, I don't know, their theater room or something. But in like more economically depressed areas, it's like on the street, in the corner. And is that true?
Yeah, I mean, yes. But it's not that I was aware of a lot of crime, but yes, I think what you're saying is valid, But I think there was, there was also people that came into our lives that weren't safe as well, so.
Like your mom's boyfriends or?
Yeah. And I think probably just kind of, like that man is a perfect example, just having
strangers. Right.
More interactions with people where it just doesn't feel safe. But then of course what you just said is true too. So like my mom's, her second husband, I think her second husband was physically abusive. And that was before my brother came around. And so we ended up living in a women's shelter. She tried to escape him. And so some of these things I have very like vivid memories.
Because you witnessed some of the abuse?
So I don't have a memory of witnessing, but I have a feeling. Like for instance, I remember being in a room, like in the apartment, and staring at these curtains and having the feeling like I know what's happening and being very scared, right? But I didn't witness it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that could be.
You could have dissociated.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think there was, for the early part of my childhood, there wasn't a lot of stability and there was a lack of safety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What kind of work did your mom do?
At that time, she was managing restaurants. And so she would, I don't know what the title would be, but like she'd be in charge of a district, like a lot of the
regional manager.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at you, regional manager. Just
I just worked that out.
Yeah. So yeah, for like the big, corporations where it's like
she would have like Applebee's and all of the stuff.
Right. Yeah,
like 4 or 5 of them.
And so that's why we would move during that point of time, because she would maybe move to a different district, right? And be in charge of like kind of getting them up and running, performing better, right?
And it sounds like her barometer for picking a mate was
Yeah.
skewed. She attracted,
Yeah.
what are they? People that were works in progress.
Yes.
Or folks
Very
that were
much
bringing
so.
with them the cycle of violence.
Yeah.
Did she have that? The cycle of violence? My mom did. It was part of her history. So she would invite those dynamics, I think, as much as the other would.
It's interesting because not that I know of. I mean, alcoholism is like rampant in our family.
Uh-huh.
But her father, my granddad, I never knew him to be violent in any way. So I don't know. Yeah. But there was like a history of not talking about things in my family. So, and even if you did, it was sometimes kind of like pushed under the rug or like, that didn't happen. You're like, no, it really did. So I actually don't know
Yeah.
the answer to that.
How did you, it was just you and your brother and your mom then a lot of times. That was the core.
Until I was 8, and then my mom married my current stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you had that stepdad for a long, long time. I had an evil stepdad. Was yours evil?
He wasn't, I wouldn't say he's evil, but he did a lot of harm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think mine was really evil, but I think
Yeah.
he definitely did a lot of harm.
Yes.
The way I think about it now from like an empowered place is he was dealing with his own trauma.
Right.
And kind of his own cycle of violence that he was unable to free himself from.
Right.
And I was a part of that.
Right. Same thing. Yeah.
What was your relationship with your mom like?
So it's an interesting relationship, has been, still is. I love my mom's like so much. I think that I can't even imagine being a single mom and doing all that she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that just seems nearly impossible. But at the same time, I think that she has not like processed some things that kind of hinder her ability to connect and see reality, So to give you an example, like my current stepfather was abusive, and I told her when I was 10, and her response was that she went and talked to him, and then she came back and they decided that I was having like prepubescent dreams related to hormones. And so what happened were dreams, right? And so going back to like, there's this history of not wanting to talk about things or kind of putting things under the rug, right? And I think her religion is part of that. She's Catholic and she could not get divorced again because getting divorced in the Catholic Church is just, it's a sin. And so because of that, I can imagine as a single mother how hard that was being married and thinking like, I can't, if I accept this, then I would have to divorce this person.
You'd have to go down a path that you don't want to go down, or you feel like you can't go down.
Right. And so because that truth, and just like historically, not looking at things and processing things, like that was her response, right? And so of course that's going to impact our relationship. And so for a long time I was like, well, I can't talk to my mom about things.
Yeah, it sounds like gaslighting.
Well, it is. It totally is.
You're saying this is my experience. They're going, oh no, that's this dream you're having.
Right. And so then that creates a sense of like not feeling safe, right?
Yeah.
This is your mother who's supposed to protect you.
Right.
Right. And then also I was young. I was 10 years old. And so for a little while, I thought, oh my gosh, like I'm having these dreams. How can my mind be this? How can my mind fail me in this way?
Yeah.
And then once I hit my like teenage years, it's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss.
You can cuss.
That's what immediately came up for me was a cuss word. Because in my teenage years, I was like, this is bullshit. Like this is, what they told me was I don't know if I have the words for it in this moment, but it's, Yeah, I realized quickly like that what was kind of fed to me wasn't true. And so then our relationship was strained during that period of time. So we've had a lot of, bumps and but we're still, I don't know, we're still close with boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of coping strategies did you learn through that childhood? Like, how did some folks fight, flight, freeze, fawn?
Yeah. For me, so in the beginning, it was, I'd say like freeze, and then fawn. Then when I hit my teenage years and I was like, this.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Right.
It was fight.
It was fight. And it was fight for a long time.
You were angry.
So angry. And that's why going back to, what we were talking about earlier, that can be a default for me.
Yeah,
right?
I hear that.
Is when there is a like very strong emotion like sadness, which that's what it was then.
Absolutely.
Total sadness. It wasn't, Anyways, then my default is anger.
Did the freeze incorporate a dissociation? Did you feel like you came outside of your body?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that like?
Not fun.
Did you like see yourself? Were you like...
No, I don't really have a memory of that. It's more like I don't, there's whole periods of time that I don't remember. And I only have like 2-second
snippets,
visualizations or memories. So like, for instance, the curtain thing that I just described, like being in a room, seeing the curtain, and then knowing like there's,
something's going on that's not cool.
It's violent.
It's violent.
Yeah. And that's like 2 seconds, right? And I didn't even know that was a real thing until later on in life, in my 20s, I'm going through my mom's closet to look for something, and I pull out the curtain. Right. I was like, wow, this curtain was real. That moment was real, So it's stuff like that where
shut down. You stopped taking in information because it was too much.
Right.
Kind of like a possum plays dead to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds really hard to be a small child navigating a world that's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the coping strategies how did you cope? You disassociated, or you freezed, or fawn, or like people pleased?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you were 10.
Yep.
What did that mature into when you're in college? Like
in college, so in my early 20s, I didn't go to college. So in my early 20s, then that anger kind of turned into like self-medicating. So lots of drugs, But that didn't last too long. It was only a few years. Last too long, that's a long time. But but given the circumstances, going back to what I said earlier, I'm surprised that it didn't last longer and that I actually survived it all.
Yeah.
And then when I was 20, I was in a relationship, like my first love, and he recognized that he needed to be sober. And then that made me think, well, maybe I should also be sober because this has gotten out of hand, right? And then he was a musician. He's like, I think I'm going to travel a little bit solo to try and practice like celibacy, sobriety, and to do some heavy work, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
A 20-year-old?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty insightful thing for a 20-year-old to want to do.
He's a phenomenal person.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to practice celibacy, sobriety, and go on a walkabout.
Like Jack Kerouac situation where he drives around and plays.
Jack Kerouac would have probably done drugs then.
Well, right. The sober Jack Kerouac.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it was... if I had good intentions with this or not. I don't know if I was trying to one-up him, but I was like, well, I'm going to go to India and I'm going to be celibate and sober and practice yoga and study with a teacher, right?
You one-upped him.
Yeah.
You one-upped your way into enlightenment.
And so I did. So at 20, I went to
I'll
to
show
India
you,
for the first time.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'll go get enlightened. Okay. So you went to India for the first time when you were 20.
20. Yeah.
20.
And that was, of course, life-changing, right? And then that kind of set me on a different path.
Studying yoga in India when you were 20-something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long were you there?
So I had saved up to be there for a year, 2 years, and was ready, right? And then 3 months in, I did not make very good decisions back then, like from the beginning, like I'm just single female, 20 years old, going to go to India by myself and not plan anything and just arrive in the city, probably not the wisest thing to do. I'm also going to take out all of my money out of the bank account and carry it in cash. Why? I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
And
so I kind of see the foreshadowing there.
Right. And then on a bus that was packed, like those buses that you're just like shoulder to shoulder and there's chickens and all the things.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get off the bus and someone very easily just probably pulled out my like one of those, like it was the thing that you normally wear under your shirt, like a little, like for your passport.
Yes.
Right? And I had all my money in it. So thousands of dollars of cash and
oh my God.
gone.
You were robbed. How long were you there when that happened?
That was 3 months in.
Oh my God.
And then I ended up staying a little bit longer because I didn't have a passport and I had no money. I was like, how am I going to do this? I have to travel to the embassy, which is completely across India on the other side. And I need money to do that. And then I have to get a new passport. And that's a whole nother story. So I ended up staying a little over. I don't know how much over, but 3
You were
months.
stranded in India with no money and no passport.
Yeah. And see, there's where my mom came in, right? So this interesting relationship where sometimes when I needed her the most, like she shows up, and so she did everything she could to get me into the embassy because it was hard to, well, I'm not going to get into that. It's a long story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she helped. She helped me get an appointment at the embassy. She was able to wire me a little bit of money so that I could get there. And then, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the yoga aspect of that trip like?
Yeah, I was practicing Ashtanga yoga at the time. And so Ashtanga yoga, well, back then there was one teacher that you would go to. He was famous for teaching Ashtanga yoga.
Who's that?
His name was Patabi Joyce. He has since passed away. But so I went there to study with him. And then when I got there, I realized this isn't my scene.
Was it Indians there or was it a bunch of like Westerners? It was all Westerners there?
Yeah, and at that point I think he was famous, like Madonna and what's his name?
Paul McCartney or something?
No. Oh my gosh, I actually used to really love his music and I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, like famous people would study with him. And so it was one of those things where there'd be a line and you'd wait to get in. And it's a certain type of practice where it's not led. You have memorized the postures. They're in the same sequence. So you'd wait in line. Typically, they'd give you a general time slot, and then you'd go, as people leave, you would come in and you'd start your practice. And so everybody's at different points in their practice, and he would walk around and adjust. And yeah.
Do you leave with some certifications? I'm like,
I think you could, but I wasn't there for that. Yeah. So I don't know what that would have looked like back then, like how many months, or it was also very expensive. So yeah. And then it was very, I don't want to, traditional is not the word, but for instance, like women were not allowed to practice when they were menstruating. There's holidays that you would have to take off. And so there was some kind of like strict parameters around practicing that didn't resonate with me.
Right.
And then there was also at that time, India and Pakistan were in, I think they were threatening a nuclear war at one point.
Kashmir.
Right. And he would hold these, oh my gosh, I hope there's no like Ashtanga lovers.
Look, if there's any Ashtanga lovers in the audience right now, I need you to earmuffs, okay? Earmuffs real quick.
Is great. Hey. But so Patabi Joyce would offer these like community Q&A sessions, right? Because you wouldn't talk. You'd go in, you do your practice, you leave. I think it was once a week. And So I had not gone yet. I had not gone to practice with him. I had not gone to one of these Q&As. I had just arrived, but I happened to be staying in one of these places where a lot of the Ashtangis would stay. And so as I was like trying to get over jet lag, I would go to lunch and I would hear them talk and whatever. And so I heard about how they had one of their Q&As and someone asked a question about Muslims in Pakistan, and his response was not great. Like, I don't remember the exact words, but basically saying they're all liars, so I don't listen to what they say and blah, 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 right? And so at that point, I thought, this just doesn't...
This dude's not enlightened.
Yeah, and it's not like I was expecting to be in the presence of an enlightened being. I fully understood that the practice that I was doing was quite physical, right?
Okay. Were you seeking enlightenment?
No.
You were seeking a skill set.
No, I mean, I was seeking spirituality, right? But I didn't have this belief that all yoga teachers from India are enlightened. I see them as humans, but I did expect him or whatever teacher that I practice with to be more aware, more on the path and evolved in some way spiritually.
Compassionate and empathy. That,
yes.
That loving kindness meditation, metta meditation.
Right.
More, yeah. Mm-hmm. With that response about these others.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you got a couple glimpses.
Yeah.
Then you got robbed. The universe took you away from India.
Well, so I ended up finding another teacher, and I did study for 3 months.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
But it wasn't Ashtanga anymore.
It was.
But it was a different teacher.
So here's the interesting thing. Like, Patabi Joyce is famous, right, for Ashtanga. But the thing is there were other teachers that were also taught Ashtanga, like the postures, the sequence, and from the same teacher, right? And who knows why he became famous? I have my thoughts and opinions, but who knows?
Yeah.
The teacher that I studied with had the same teacher as Patabi Joyce, was given kind of the same practice, but he focused on other aspects. Like, he wanted you to do the breathing practices. He wanted you to do what's called the shakriyas, like these cleansing practices, like the one that's really well known is like the neti pot, right?
Yeah.
And so you had to do a wide variety of other practices under his tutelage or whatever, right? And so I studied with him and continued to practice Ashtanga. And so I did that for 3 months and then had the incident on a bus. And
you probably learned a lot in those 3 months. That's a long time. You were practicing yoga every day, like full time?
Yes.
That was your life?
Yeah.
Was yoga. Mm-hmm. Ashtanga yoga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when you got back? You were, wait. While you were there, you were sober?
Yes.
No drugs and alcohol?
Yes.
You were eating a vegetarian diet? Was it vegetarian?
Yes. Yes.
Was the food good over there?
Yes.
It's good food.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's great, but you just had to know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to know where to go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, did you get into any of the religions that were over there? I've interviewed a couple people from India, and they had some, they sacred cows. The cows would run around, and they would, they would basically like clean they were like serving the cows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
well, yoga was a religion. Was it that type of thing for you? It was spiritual.
It was spiritual. Yeah.
Spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
But not religion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between spirituality and religious?
For me, I think religious, it has some like rules and defines things in very specific ways, right? Like, God is this. Spirit
like dogma.
Is this.
Dogma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
What happened when you get back to America? You were in you're still 20 something, early 20s.
Yeah, I actually turned 21 over there. But so then I came back. I was back for 3 or 4 years and just practicing, living life, and then went back again for the second time. But this time I was doing like an around the world backpacking thing where I would spend like a month in each place.
Wow.
Or when I was in Europe, it might be like 3 days in Barcelona or one day in London. So I didn't spend as much time in Europe, but I would try it. Like I spent a month or close to in Nepal and in Thailand. And India, I stayed for a couple months again. But this time I traveled all around India.
And you had a better strategy for finance management?
Yeah. I mean, there's a story.
You would just take money to your shirt?
Yeah.
All these money. I want this money.
No. I mean, there's a reason why I took my money out. I wasn't just like, I'm going to take thousands of dollars of cash. There's a reason.
There's a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this time, yes, of course.
You did better.
I was more prepared.
Well, where'd you get all this money to go travel the world? Did you just
I mean, I'm
win the lottery?
Something.
You just saved up a bunch of cash?
So I worked as a restaurant manager and I got paid well.
You followed the family business.
I did. Yeah. In fact, my brother did too. My brother's a restaurant manager. My mom's a midwife now, though. Very different.
Very different.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So I worked as a restaurant manager I think at that time I was the kitchen manager. I got paid really well and I got paid under the table, a lot of it. Yeah.
Nice.
And so I was able to
save a bunch of money.
A lot of money.
When you got back, did the guy crumble under the weight of your achievement in India?
What guy? The
guy that you did it for.
I didn't do it for him. No,
I know you didn't, but we both know.
No, we don't. No.
You told him and you were like, listen to this.
You're going to travel around the United States in your car. I went around the world.
I went down to India and learned Ashtanga yoga and,
No, we're still friends. And I haven't talked to him in a while, but we're still friends. And,
yeah. Did you have the same kind of dude picker as your mom? Did you invite in some bad dudes in your life?
They were not violent towards me.
No.
They were not, and they weren't violent. No.
To anybody?
No, to anybody. But they were, I mean.
Wounded birds?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all wounded birds.
Yeah, some more I think we're all wounded birds. It's like, what are we doing with those wounds?
Yeah, how are you?
Right.
Are you healing yourself? Are you aware of your wounds? Are you
exactly?
Yeah. Are you keeping those from Carl Jung's? Are you keeping those shadows in front of you?
Right. Yeah.
Instead of hidden down there, wreaking havoc.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So you did this world tour. Sounded like you went some awesome places.
Yes.
With this under the table cash from restaurant management.
Yep.
Were you practicing yoga and learning from people? You were. Yeah. With teachers, different teachers?
Yeah. And so I did go back to study with the same teacher.
You did?
I did.
Did he remember you? He was like, oh, Mary, you're back.
He did. Yeah.
I missed you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he was very sweet, very kind, and I would spend time with him and his wife and his family.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. His name was Shashadri.
Shashadri. Mm-hmm. Do you still communicate with him?
I don't. No, I haven't since then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so when, so I went back, I studied with him, but then when I was traveling around, I would just go, I would see flyers or hear from other people in cafes of different yoga teachers, and I would just try anything and all the things.
Whoever the most popular teacher was in the area?
No, not popular, because I didn't want that, but it might be just, I remember somebody told me about an experience they had. It ended up being Kundalini yoga, but they were talking about the experience. And I was like, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
They weren't popular, but they were, somehow I would hear about it, right? And it would be interesting to me, or it seemed authentic or steeped in the tradition. There was just something.
Some authenticity.
Yeah. And so that's what I would gravitate.
Would you stick with those teachers for a while?
No.
It would just be, you were just doing like a sample platter.
I might go for a couple classes. And,
okay.
Yeah.
But you're learning.
Right.
You're synthesizing all that stuff in some subconscious.
I stayed with Shashadri for, a few months.
Oh, you did?
Practice with him every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's so funny time. It's like, how long was I there total? And then I don't know how long I was with him versus moving around, but it seems like it was a long time. But it probably wasn't.
You're a legit yogi. Legit yogi. Why are you shaking your head?
Back to the expert terms.
I said legit.
I know.
You're I'm sneaking another term in there. You're like, nah,
no.
I smell what you're cooking, Phil. You're just trying to say expert in a different way. But that's a unique experience.
Sure.
To travel the world, to study with someone from the region or the areas where yoga originated, and to bring that back to America, you would be skilled.
I feel like a lot of people were doing it at that time. If you were studying yoga, that's what at some point you would do.
You would do that.
No, that doesn't happen anymore, but back then that was just,
A lot of people were doing it.
I feel like, I don't know.
Did you go native when you were there, or did you hang out with other?
Wait, what does that mean?
When you go native, that's when you hang out with locals and you kind of immerse yourself in the culture. You don't hang out with other kind of foreigners. You eat the food, you dress the clothes, you probably find you an Indian boyfriend.
No.
You learn how to talk the language.
Yeah. I think I was probably somewhere in the middle, right? Yeah, because for instance, like I wanted to learn sitar, and so
I learned sitar.
I tried. That is a hard instrument, at least for me it was. But I had no like previous exposure to guitar or anything, so it was really challenging. But anyways, so for that, like I would try to ask around, like if I went to a cafe, I'd ask the person there, hey, do you know any sitar teachers? And so because of that, then yes, I would end up being with a sitar teacher, like where I was the only Westerner. Right? You
were traveling alone?
Yeah.
And then again, what was that like being a woman, traveling the world alone?
Sometimes, and that's why I say I was in the middle, because sometimes I would meet somebody, like if I went to a yoga class and I met somebody and they're going to Mumbai, which I think is called something different now. But, if they were going somewhere, I was like, I want to go there, let's go together, because it was safer to be with another person.
Travelers.
Right? Yeah. But then there were lots of times where I traveled on my own, right? And as a white Westerner, it's probably not like this at all anymore, but there was kind of this maybe perception among some people that I was a very sexual human being, right? And so they would assume that. And so I was exposed to things, that like, why is this person showing me his, or whatever it may be. And so it was much safer to be with someone to, not have to deal with situations like that.
You got the old school, nowadays you'd call it a dick pic. You got the old school one where it was the real, just, there's my.
Mm-hmm. Or like, I don't know if you want to go into this or not, but there's a lot of examples of stuff like that.
You can give us one. And if we need to, we'll just...
You can edit it out.
Edit it out.
Yeah. So for instance, I remember I was traveling on a train and I was on the top bunk. They would have these bunks that fold down so you could sit during the day and lift up. I'm on the top bunk, and between me and the next bunk on the other side is like this metal... it's not a wall because it has a hole.
Void. Yeah. Like railings maybe.
Yeah. And I woke up and there was a guy in the bunk next to me looking at me, and he was doing
he was self-pleasuring,
right?
Himself.
Yeah. And so that's an example, right? And I would talk to other women who they'd be on the beach, and then all of a sudden this guy next.
You know how I know I've got work to do? When you shared that story, the first thing I thought was, well, what were you wearing up there?
Whoa.
I know that's wrong. Hey, I'm sharing that. I'm sharing that. That's my work to do.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what you were wearing.
Right.
But I think some things could be more stimulating than others.
Right. But to answer your question, like fully clothed. And probably a blanket on top.
A blanket on top.
Right.
So I'm going with that guy's, that's an inappropriate response to a sleeping lady. But I think there's no way a lady could sleep.
Okay.
That would make that appropriate.
Right. Okay.
But I just want to preface it with that.
Yeah.
But I would say some levels of, I'm walking a tightrope here. Can I just backpedal myself out of this one?
You're good.
Get right out of here.
Yeah.
There's some levels of dress and thing that would make it more challenging
not
to stay in your pure, if you looked over and lady had like a, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I know. I gave you an out and you just kept going.
I'm sorry.
I was like, okay.
Sometimes I need like a real billboard. Exit here. Yeah, give me that. Anyway, so yeah, you had some weird experiences.
Yeah, and so
did you just go back to sleep? You're like, I'm just gonna go back.
No, I yelled at him.
Oh, you yelled at him.
Yeah.
Was he
not appropriate? Stop. Something like that. I don't know. I would get grabbed, like, and the thing was like sometimes It was so ridiculous sometimes. Like, I remember I was walking one time and a guy came by, like scooters or mopeds or whatever they're called, common vehicle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so they go by constantly nonstop as you're walking, and someone came by and went to grab my chest, but they're on a vehicle going like 20 something miles. So it's like,
That's gonna hurt.
Knocked me back, right? Or they come up behind and grab my butt. Like, it was, it was I wouldn't say it was an everyday thing, but it happened a lot.
Enough.
A lot. Yeah.
I mean, one time would be enough, but you're saying a lot with the head nod, which meant it was like
a lot.
A lot. Goodness.
And so
how did that impact your view of the world and of mankind?
I don't know. I saw it through a lens of I mean, in some ways, like sex is different, culture from culture to culture, right? And then when you see, like, I remember going to this like this Buddhist monastery, and I went into one of the restaurants and the monks were back making the food, and I look up and there was a poster of Britney Spears. I was like, well, this is weird,
Weird. Yeah.
And I realized, like, there were other people, not just monks, like living in this community, right? And so maybe the owner, I don't know, really loves Britney Spears. I have no idea. But the way that she was dressed, like, you would not dress like that. Right? And so she was very sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's what you see of Western white women, then
they had been primed. Like you said, whenever you get something in your idea, then you see it, and that's all you think about is that thing.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I think it's complicated, and that's how I viewed it. I was like, this is complicated.
Were you practicing celibacy?
At one point I was. I don't remember if it was the whole time. The first time I was there, yes. The second time,
maybe you had some travel romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But you definitely weren't wanting those type of courting scenarios.
No.
The drive-by scooter situation.
None of it. I didn't want any of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't want any of it either.
Yeah.
For you or anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh.
So that's why sometimes I would gravitate towards, like, okay, I'm going to travel to North India. Let's make some friends and go together, And then other times I was.
What's in North India? Why is North India important?
I wanted to get to the Himalayas. And so I wanted to get to a place, I don't know how you pronounce it correctly, but is it Dharamsala? Dharamsala, yeah. So the tiny little town where the Dalai Lama will often go to, like, that's where he lives in exile. Right. And it's itty bitty.
Where he maybe fled from Tibet?
Yes. So it's just on the other side of the mountain range.
So you wanted to be near the Dalai Lama.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so at some point I was trying to make my way up, and I would stop along the way. And if I, met somebody who was also going there, then we'd become friends.
This is a spiritual journey.
Yeah. Which is another reason why I wasn't. I mean, I would have never been interested in getting grabbed while walking down the street,
obviously.
Right? But that's another reason why I wasn't, even if I wasn't outrightly practicing celibacy, I was still, because I was there, like, on this spiritual journey, right? And that was my focus.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make your way to that town?
I did.
Did you see the Dalai Lama?
I did.
What was that like?
So I don't know if I realized at the time, but he will have this, or maybe it happens multiple times a year, but from what I understood, it's like this annual thing where people come from all over the world and they sit, and he talks about various things, right? So it's like a teaching.
Dharma talk?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that was happening, and I don't know that I was aware, or maybe I just didn't understand what it meant to have, like, hundreds, maybe even, I don't know, thousands. I don't know how many people were there. But it was crazy. It was, And so then we would sit, and he would be on the stage, and he would talk about various things, Dharma talk. And we would have earphones, and you could tune in to the correct translation, right? So somebody was translating it in French and English and whatever it may be, right? But luckily I got there early, like way before this was happening. So I got to be in the town when it was a lot quieter and yeah. And then he arrived and everybody arrived. And yeah, it was amazing.
Wow. That is an amazing, that's got to be a unique experience that you have that a lot of other folks don't have. To be able to sit with the Dalai Lama, hear him provide a Dharma discussion.
Yeah, that's so funny. I totally forgotten about it. I haven't probably thought about that in a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah. That goes back to what I said earlier. Like, that seems like a different lifetime.
Yeah, because you've had kids and you're now doing this other thing.
Right.
What happened? Come forward in time a little bit. What happened after this journey?
So I think a big thing that happened that kind of changed my life's path again is when I got back. I have this soul sister, best friend of mine, who actually came to India the second time when I was there. And when I got back, I was with her, and I hadn't like established roots. I think I was staying at her place, or I don't remember. But we were just kind of out and about having fun, decided to go skateboarding. And back then I thought I was just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like immortal. And I had no business being on a skateboard on this high. I don't even know what it's called, where you drop in.
Yeah,
and Ramp, yeah. And I dropped in, and I won't go through the details, but I broke my leg in a really, really bad way where I had to have surgery and screws and a plate.
Yeah.
Had to learn, like, how to walk again because that leg was just like, so that was life-changing because I was a strong yogi who traveled the world, and all of a sudden I'm in a wheelchair and can't walk for a long period of time. Then I graduated to like a boot, and so that was a big learning process. And then they moved. This is. So then while I was in surgery, my friends, her and another friend, moved me into, remember the boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Into his mother's house. Because she and I had gotten really close.
Yeah.
Right? This woman she's amazing. I wish you could sit and talk to her. Like, she's just an amazing person. And so I was moved into her house. And then I lived there for a few months, maybe like 6 months or something. And then during that time, like, I remember I would like get out of the wheelchair, get on the floor.
You had to rely on the kindness of others at this time.
Yeah.
Because you probably spent all your money on your travels.
Right.
You come back, break your leg, and now like, how do you make money? How do you... And
I couldn't make money. I couldn't walk.
No, you couldn't make money? Goodness.
While,
The wheelchair jobs.
What?
There's no wheelchair jobs.
Right.
I mean back then.
Which gave me an eye. Like, it opened up my world.
Because you had to slow down?
Because I had to slow down. I also started to see like the world through somebody's eyes that has what may be referred to as a disability.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, well, nothing is accessible to me.
You're relying on the kindness of others.
Yeah.
Of community.
Right. And then I couldn't do this practice that was like really what kind of healed me.
You couldn't do yoga.
Ways. Yeah. So then I started reading like this book, 1 Year to Live, which is all about, what if you were dying in a year? Right? And then I got into the philosophy of yoga and started reading out. Because before that, yoga was more of a physical practice that helped me feel more spiritually connected. But there wasn't really a spiritual practice, if you will, like meditation or chanting or, so that's when I started getting into all that. Like, how can yoga be more accessible? Is yoga sitting on the floor and doing a couple stretches, which it was for me at that time, right? And then getting into the philosophy as I started to read all these books and then meditation and so that I think is honestly what really shifted things for me and led me to kind of like where I am today, right?
Was the wheelchair experience.
Yeah. The breaking the leg.
Because you couldn't practice yoga in the way you'd known it, it gives you that time and space to invite in yoga in different ways.
Yeah.
The meditation, the breathing,
And I was privileged. I had support, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't have to work.
Yeah.
And so that meant I had time to study and to read and to contemplate and all the things.
Contemplative practice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, you are a badass.
Aw.
You're a legit badass.
Thanks.
I have 2 daughters, and I think they should spend time with someone like you, a woman that's a badass.
That's
someone
kind.
that to travel the world alone, to seek, to be a seeker in that way. What is this all about? To go through what you went through as a small child and that be the fruit of that very disorganized tree is a beautiful thing. And I imagine it took a lot of strength and courage and bravery to do those things, to return there, and probably a healthy, desire for adventure and novelty, learning and growing through experience. It's admirable in so many ways.
Thank you.
Yeah. Goodness. And hearing that, it adds so much depth to who you are in my eyes. Wow. How old are you? Why is that funny?
I don't know.
You're like, I'm 33.
Yeah. No, my birthday is March 8th, so I'm going to be 44.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's like a life, so many lives.
Yeah.
And when did you start supporting other people's yoga practice and other people's yoga journey?
Not until I moved to Austin. So I moved to Austin in 2005. And then I got a job like working as a server in a restaurant.
Stayed in that restaurant business.
I know, right?
Yeah.
While I was living with my, her name is Donna. Well, yeah.
Donna?
Yep.
Is the partner's mom?
Right. So we moved here together. I don't think she was born here, but she spent a lot of time
This
here.
dude's mom turned out to be one of your like...
She still is.
besties.
I love her.
Donna?
To death. Yeah. Yeah. So she wrote songs for Willie Nelson and all these other artists. And she's an artist herself. And she's an amazing woman. And I think she kind of opened up yoga as like this really meaningful spiritual practice for me. And I hadn't kind of seen it in that light because she would meditate and just talk about spirituality. But anyways, so I moved here with her because she was going through a divorce. And I actually was living with them as they were kind of, I know, figuring
That had been a hard time for them.
Yeah, I think it was very hard. And then once they got divorced, she's like, there's nothing keeping me here. I want to move. And I was like, I've been wanting to move.
What town was that in?
That was outside of Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then she's like, well, I've lived in Austin before. I love Austin. And I was like, I'll give it a try. And so I came down here to visit one guy that or maybe we traveled to Austin together. I don't remember. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting place. I don't mind living here for a little while. And it was meant to be a pit stop. I was going to go either to like California or Colorado. I don't remember because I do not like the heat. And so we came, that was 2005. And I've been here
never
ever
left
since. Right. Yeah. And then at some point, so I was working a restaurant job. I was teaching yoga like in my house. And then I got a class at a studio, and then just from there, soon after, I was like, I can't really, work at a restaurant and teach because at the restaurant business, it's challenging. There's sometimes, I don't know about every restaurant, but where I was, there was like a lot of heavy drinking and partying.
Yeah, the restaurant culture tends to be full of distraction.
And so I ended up giving that up and teaching full time. And then I've been doing that ever since.
And did you find a partner and get married?
I did, yeah. So we got married about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Had some kiddos.
Yeah, his name is Rigoberto.
Rigoberto Perez.
Yep.
Perez. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we have 2 boys.
Oh.
Micah and Elijah.
Is he into yoga?
Funny enough, like that's how we met. Let's see. Well, technically we met because he was my neighbor and he was interested in my roommate. She was a massage therapist and he was talking about yoga and she's like, my roommate's a yoga teacher. And so we started talking. And it was just friendly, right?
Right, because he was trying to get in good with your
And he's a really nice guy. And
Yeah.
remember, like, that's not my,
What?
that
That's
was
not
not
your-
my,
You don't go for guys like that.
right.
You
I want like not.
you wanted a bad boy. He wasn't
Right,
wounded
right,
enough for
right.
you.
He wasn't wounded
Yeah.
enough. Well, it turns out he was, but but he's willing to work on it just like me.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I wasn't really interested at first. And we were friendly, but yeah. And then he did end up coming to my yoga class, right? And we weren't dating at that time. And so I was fine with that because I have I have like boundaries around, you don't date yoga students.
You don't.
No, I mean, at a certain, there have to be some, like, I don't know, it's situational. I'll put it that way.
Because of the power dynamic?
Well, honestly, I think like the way that I teach, there shouldn't be a power dynamic.
You have a very like flat hierarchy vibe.
Right. So the way that I teach, I don't think there should be a power dynamic, but I think.
But there always will be if you're at the front of the class and you're kind of holding the wisdom, even if you try to flatten it.
I just think that because that has been an area where people have gotten hurt many times historically.
Yeah.
Like that's something that yoga teachers need to be aware of. And if you have that general rule in place, like I'm not going to date yoga students, right?
Yeah.
But then again, it's situational because I don't know, maybe someone comes along and like, you end up being more friends than you are like yoga teacher, yoga student.
Right.
I don't know. But for me, it was important to kind of have that rule in place, right? Because then it also just made room for like clear communication among students who might approach me.
But you knew him before he came to your class.
I knew him before, yeah, and I knew he was interested in yoga, and then I got the hint that he was interested in me, and I don't know if it was that, but also he was coming to a class that was physically demanding and required some like prior knowledge, And I was like, you need to go to a beginner series and have that foundation.
Yeah, we need to get out of my class.
Right, and so I basically told him like, you can't come to my class anymore.
Yeah, my class is too hardcore for you. Okay.
For multiple reasons, I was like, if you're interested in me, that makes it kind of,
Okay, you were interested too.
Not in the beginning, but yes, eventually.
Old school persistence carried the day.
Right.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he started taking, Steven was the owner of that studio. It was called Eastside Yoga, and he started taking Steven's beginner series. And then since then, he hasn't really come back to my class. No, I mean.
Well, he gets privates now, right? Or he doesn't do yoga anymore. He's out of yoga.
Like, okay,
he was in yoga for the chicks, man.
Yeah. Now I see. Now I see what your intention was. Which I think I probably knew back then too.
Yoga for the chicks.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Yoga chicks are cool. Yoga chicks are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Goodness. Anything you want to share about your life that we've missed or that we...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Any question you wish I would have asked about your life? What was your wound that you were seeking to heal from? Do you know?
I think there were a few, but I think one was being able to ask for what I need and being heard. And then back then, that means if I was heard, I would be protected.
Safety, being seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think it's still an ongoing thing for me to be able to like communicate what I need, right? And it's gone through different phases. It's like when I was a teenager, I was like, you're gonna listen to me, this,
Anger phase.
Anger, right?
Yeah.
And then being able, so now it's like I'm working, and then I was able to get through that and ask for what I need, but then I may be like really hurt if it wasn't validated or if it wasn't returned or whatever it may be, right? Yeah. And so I think currently it's kind of the wound that I'm working on is like asking for what I need. And if it's not given, then being able to use my own tools to kind of, feel sourced or whatever it is. And
Yeah. Accept the no. Or accept.
Yeah. Well, I think I can accept the no, but then it's the
Give
thing
yourself whatever you wanted that you're asking for.
It's like accepting the no I can do, right? But then sometimes I may find that I'm like still over functioning, or I feel depleted because the part that's missing is I still need to work on then giving myself the thing that is needed.
That you're asking for.
Right. Mm-hmm. In those situations where it's like they don't have the capacity to give it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. If you look around my house, you'll notice feelings and needs laminated cards. They're like different places hidden around my house because, I've gone through that. How do I ask for what I need in a healthy way? How do I share emotions and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, thank you so much for sharing your journey. I didn't anticipate that. I don't think you can anticipate that. Mm. Everybody has such a wonderful story. And you do have a wonderful story. Mm-hmm. And filled with adventure and kind of crime, some little seedy parts, some like chaos and trauma at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
And such a wonderful story now that you give back in these shelters where asylum seekers are seeking, asylum from the places they come from, and also helping people like me develop a practice of yoga. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel real privileged.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What did I do?
Well,
I guess just got you in the seat. I got you in the seat. That's true.
Well, that is true. But also, I think that you naturally create a safe space. And so I think, you mentioned earlier that people have a little bit of a hangover after sharing. And I think that has something to do with your ability to create a space that feels safe and warm and welcome to where people do say things, Yeah. And you're very authentic and genuine and yeah. And it's hard to be those things in the world that we live in these days, Yeah. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It's taken a lot of work.
I hear you.
I was a wounded bird, very wounded. Mm-hmm. So, oh man, how do you want to wrap up? Sometimes I pull tarot cards. Sometimes I end with a hug. Sometimes, however, how do you want to?
What does your intuition tell you?
Oh, my intuition? How does your intuition tell you?
You can't flip it. You can't.
I can't flip it. I just did flip it.
No.
Well, I love doing tarot cards.
Okay, do it.
Do you want to do it?
Is this it right here?
That's one version.
Okay.
Do you like those?
Well, I've been looking at them. They're very interesting.
You've been looking at them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then grab them.
Design.
Grab them. The Wild Unknown. Here's the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but that's the Wild Unknown, which I think is a beautiful deck.
It is very.
I like that one. You could shuffle that one. I've been doing a 3-card pull with people. But I wonder, and it's been it's been past, present, and future, but I want to do something different with you and do something in the spirit of my show, which Phil Phails focuses on mind, body, and spirit. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if we'd do a mind, body, and spirit pull. Okay. Each card would be mapped to one of those. Okay. First, put those aside for a second and let's figure out through the archetype deck what lens we'll look at this pull through. This will be the lens, the archetype, your inner archetype that'll influence how we read this. All right, what'd you pick? Here's your card. Oh. You hand me the rest of them.
Oh. The flame.
The flame. Mm-hmm. That maps to your red hair.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What does it look like?
It's like a pyramid. And a pyramid and a pyramid, and there's a flame in the center. I really like the colors here. Like watercolor-esque.
It's red, beautiful.
Yellow. Mm-hmm.
What does it say to you? The flame.
I don't know, because it's interesting that it's in this shape. It's like in a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Nothing. It's a perfect card for you.
Okay, what is it?
Well, the first two words are in Sanskrit.
Nuh-uh.
I swear to God.
Wait, what is that book? What is
It's the you look at it in disbelief. It's the guidebook for this archetype
Really?
cards. Yeah. Archetype guidebook.
Huh.
And the first two words for this particular card are in Sanskrit.
Wow.
The word for fire is
Agni.
goodness. This is your card.
Is that what it says? Really?
Absolutely, that's what it says.
Wow.
You think I'm making it? How could I?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a wizard, but you picked your card.
Yeah.
The flame, the fire, the spark, the glimmer. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is
Agni.
Agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed it to be responsible for our vitality. Talking about yogis? You picked
Does that
perfect
book
card.
not talk about these things?
I mean, every card is different, but that's the first one I've ever read that was about yogis in Sanskrit.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose, which we talked about your purpose earlier, and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out, which is the balance that we're talking about. Wow. Think of this card as a card to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame, no matter how harshly the winds around you blow. Like the negativity and the sadness and despair and trauma from your either childhood or from your present moment experience at the shelter. It could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame.
Very cool.
Really cool. Let's see the other thing. Says that the archetypal fire is at the beginning of all transformation, purification, and manifestation. Nearly every spiritual lineage honors the flame. To enliven the connection with this archetypal energy, practice the candle gazing technique called Trataka. You know that?
Yeah, but I can't remember how to pronounce that one.
Notice how lighting a single candle in any space brings magic to the room and creates a sense of reverence. When light, health, mental clarity, good digestion. When dark, excess heat and anger, complete darkness. The flame. That's the kind of archetype we'll use to look at the other cards that we pull.
Okay.
Or that you pull. How does that land for you? It lands for me in a lot of powerful ways, but I wonder how it lands for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it lands in a lot of different ways. I think that it's interesting that the overlap and like all the things that we've been talking about. I mean, the things that you noted, like purpose and also that balance, like not letting the flame go out, you know? Yeah. Very cool.
All right, pick up the other ones. Here, I'll hold that up, let people. The flame.
Oh my goodness. So I picked 3.
You pick 3. You can shuffle them up. You can pick them from wherever you want. These are your cards.
Okay.
Whichever ones you pull are the right ones. Kind of remember the order a little bit.
Okay.
You got all of them?
Yeah. It goes 1, 2, 3.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let this meditating cat hold the flame. You like the smell of Palo Santo?
Is that what was burning in here? Because it didn't smell like that.
It wasn't. It was incense. I think it probably been some straight up Nag Champa. But
I like both.
I like Palo Santo. Bring a little woo woo into the reading. I normally would play some music. Okay. This first one is the mind, your mind card. Think about the flame as it relates to your mind and this card, which you'll reveal.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay. It looks like count 'em. It's Pentacles is a suit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 of Pentacles.
Yeah.
Pentacles are pentagrams. They're an earth element suit. Is it 9? Should I check your math?
You should check my math. Oh.
Yeah, that's 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are they? I have never seen these type of cards before. They're all different.
Yeah. They're different than the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. They're unique interpretations of the tarot. And that's a beautiful card. What do you see when you look at it?
I have no idea.
That's cool. Earth element is Pentacles.
Okay.
It's a feminine or yin energy that relates to our planet as the source of sustenance, security, and stability. And the suit symbolizes physical resources, the body, values, practical concerns, material goods, property, forms of monetary exchange, things that sustain us.
Wait, what is that?
The suit of Pentacles. What
does that mean, the suit?
The Pentacles has 1 through, there's a whole suit of Pentacles. Like in a deck of cards, there's clubs, there's hearts, there's spades. These are Pentacles is one suit.
Oh, okay.
In the minor arcana, there'll be, 1 through 9 in that suit, and then there'll also be, the royalty cards.
I see. Okay.
Just kind of like in a regular deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's 10. 10, I'm sorry. There's 10, and then there's the kind of the royalty ones.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's the technical term for it.
Mm-hmm.
The royalty ones.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what all of the pentacles are around, that things that sustain us in this material world.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So 9, if you look at numerology, I use this book to help me because my memory's, still developing with tarot.
Mm-hmm.
The number 9 represents humanitarianism, compassion, and tolerance. It also signifies gaining wisdom through experience, is the numerology of 9.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It also represents the end of a cycle, tying up loose ends. It can depict fulfillment or completion, a sense of satisfaction that comes from having reached a peak. Because it's like from 1 to 10, you're like kind of at the end of that journey.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9. Let's look at number 9 specifically. Number 9 of Pentacles. If we looked at the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it might be a little bit more. Oh, this is a good one. Well, I think we had a sense of it being good by the numerology, but it's keywords for this are abundance, material well-being, security, comfort, and success. This is the 9 of Pentacles. Gotta count them. Some decks, including the Aquarian and the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is this deck, depict a woman with a beautiful bird standing in a vineyard. The ripe fruit symbolizes a period of plenty. An accomplishment. It's time to harvest your crop. This is your mind card, by the way. 9 represents fulfillment, and this lovely card says you've arrived. You've achieved your goals and now feel secure. You've worked hard, used your skills and acumen, and accomplished much. You have reason to be proud. The upright 9 also represents independence. You've created the life you desire and can now enjoy your success. It says there's a little reading caption here called A Self-Made Woman. It says some tarotists, including Barbara Moore, author of The Gilded Tarot Companion, see this card as representing the self-made woman, independent of a man's support and rightful proprietor of her own domain. Only 27 years before English-born Pamela Coleman Smith began her series of paintings that would become the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. England's Parliament passed the Married Women's Property Act of 1882, which allowed married women to own property. Before that time, a woman surrendered her holdings to her husband upon marriage, and any property she gained during the marriage became her husband's. Hogwash. That self-made woman thing seems appropriate, having heard your story. But how does that land for you? What comes up?
Well, it's interesting that the mind part, I think it all kind of lands well, but I'm curious as to like what that means specifically to the mind. And then there was one part in the beginning where you said, like there's a sense of completion.
Yeah.
That seems a little off. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Because you're not done with your LCSW?
Well, and because I have so much more to learn, every day.
Every day. We're never done.
Right. So, this is the same card, but
that's the Rider-Waite-Smith deck card, just so you can see kind of what they were talking about. This woman with a beautiful bird standing in a vineyard, ripe fruit symbolizing a period of plenty. I think you can kind of read more into it. You can look at her facial features and look at her surroundings and their clothing to get a sense of what's going on.
Yeah.
Abundance. Do you feel like you're in a place of abundance mentally?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Like regulating, found your way through you found that balance, in the new stage. You had that new stage where you're being challenged in different ways. You found a way to equalize.
Yeah, I think so. But it's also, I don't know. I think in other ways, I feel more in abundance and more, I don't know. I feel like the mind, that's a tricky one because it's like it's an ongoing process of witnessing patterns and witnessing, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it's possible that I got them out of order. We can look at them at the end and put them where we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything that was said lands true, but it's hard for me to see it just specifically in regards to the mind.
I think the self-made woman thing it lands for me. Haven't heard your story. Being redundant now. You ready for the next card, or you want to say anything else about that?
No, I'm ready.
This is the body card. Body card.
Temperance.
Temperance. Okay. What do you see there on that card?
I find this image very confusing.
Yeah?
Yeah. What kind of bird is that? A heron? What is that?
Is that a blue heron?
And then it has drops of water coming from its neck, maybe? And then there's a fire. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
But I have no idea what to make of this. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you...
I have no...
Well, let you have that beautiful one, and then the Rider-Waite-Smith one.
Oh.
So you can kind of get a sense of the more traditional.
One cup filling another cup.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it? I'm dying to know.
You're dying to know. Moderation, harmony, acceptance, resolution, cooperation, and patience. This lovely card often features a winged angel, male, female, or androgynous. I guess you get to pick the original gender fluid. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the angel stands in a stream bordered by flowers. The word vessel relates to the great mother god dressed of antiquity, and the human body is often referred to as the vessel of the soul. Thus, both the angelic figure and the cups are symbolic references to the feminine force. Temperance indicates a time of inner growth and outer harmony. You're learning to temper your ego needs with the needs of the spirit within. With patience, you can blend disparate elements of yourself and or your world into a harmonious whole. There's a little reading here. It says patience in all things. The word temperance derives from the Latin temperare, which means to moderate, blend, or mix together harmoniously. Interestingly, this card was named time in early decks, which provides a key to its underlying meaning. Temperance encourages patience. Things happen at their own pace, in their own time. This is one of the great lessons of the Zen masters. There are times when nothing can be done and nothing needs to be done. Body.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that?
I don't know. I think the interesting part about the like where sometimes nothing needs to be done. It's like I can push my body by like there's some days even now when I've done like all this work to kind of slow down, there's some days where I'll get up at 7, go teach a yoga class, go I don't know, do various things, go to the shelter, go pick up my kids, and I don't sit down or rest until 9:00 at night, And so I think my body is like sometimes there needs to be more balance, right?
Yeah.
Slowing down. And then also like I am in a different phase of my life after having kids. Like my body's totally different, and trying to kind of just find, I don't know, harmony. I don't know. There's a lot of different things. I'm ready for the third.
Spirit.
Okay.
Spirit card. What have we here for spirit?
It's a star.
It's a star. Let's see. Okay, the star. What do you see there? What's it look like?
It's like a beautiful rainbow-esque star.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, I remember this card. Star. From the Major Arcana.
Pouring water. Both on the ground and then back. It looks like maybe back in the stream or the pond. She's naked.
Hey, yo. Happiness, hope, light at the end of the tunnel, good fortune. Overwhelmingly, your pulls have been pretty positive.
Have you had some pretty negative ones?
Well, I mean,
I feel like that
interpretations can be negative.
Right.
I think you can always interpret the tarot pulls in ways that go either way.
Yeah.
Sometimes the devil card's harder to figure that out.
Yeah.
The death card doesn't mean you're going to die.
Right.
It can mean the end of something and the start of something new.
Right.
So sometimes they're overwhelmingly positive, but sometimes there are like the 4 in numerology or the 5 in numerology can be a time of struggle. You're in the middle of your journey. You have to learn and overcome the challenges that are part of that undertaking. So there are cards that have more overt like struggle, suffering kind of. Yeah. But these don't. These have all been pretty positive. This lovely card often portrays a nude female figure in or beside a pool of water. She pours water from 2 jugs or chalices. She pours the contents of one pitcher into a stream and the other onto the ground, showing the connection between the 2 feminine elements, water and earth. Stars shine in the background, sometimes in a circle or a halo-like formation around her. The naked woman represents truth and purity.
Oh, wow.
Satya and purity.
I was like, ooh, he's going to pull out Sanskrit for...
I didn't know that one. Purity.
Good job.
Do you know how to say purity in Sanskrit?
Cleanliness is like shaucha.
Shaucha.
It could be.
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
The jugs contain the waters of life. We are shooting stars at the harbingers of good luck. We wish upon the star, and the star is a universal symbol of hope. Getting this card is like looking up at the bright starry sky on a clear night and seeing all the magnificence of the universe. This is a time of fulfillment, good fortune, creative inspiration, and spiritual growth. When you receive help from the unseen forces and wishes come true. Hope. This is a quote here in this section. Says, hope, which whispered from Pandora's box only after all the other plagues and sorrows had escaped, is the best and last of all things. That's interesting.
That is very interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it signals an end to problems and the start of a new, happier phase of life. I think of it as the light at the end of the tunnel card. You've been preparing for this time and now you've arrived. The star shows you're in harmony with your life purpose, using your gifts beneficially. Mm-hmm. It signifies inspiration, intuition, inner wisdom, and joy. A quote from Helen Keller. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I think, like, I bet if we had pulled that card 6 months ago, it would have been different, because I think that it's only recently where I feel pretty, I don't know, pretty confident in my ability to feel hope and to feel, I don't know, amongst like all the challenges of the world, Mm-hmm.
You want to move any of those cards around? Make one the body and one the spirit, or one the...
I don't remember. Now I don't remember what any of them were.
So I remember. Well, the Pentacles was mind.
Okay, and that was in brief.
Abundance.
Okay.
The mind, and then then Temperance was patience.
I feel like that needs to be my mind.
Patience is your mind, okay, and then which one for your body and your spirit?
And then
abundance
and then what is the star like in one word?
Star was hope, light at the end of the tunnel.
Light at the end of the tunnel. And then this was
this is patience. Oh, abundance. Abundance, right? The end of a journey. They're all kind of similar.
Yeah, they're all kind of similar. Yeah, I think like those two are fine with like wherever they're gonna be. And that's just a better one for my mind.
Mind is because patience. You're looking for you're at a place where you're finding patience in your mind, and your body and your spirit can either be abundance or the light at the end of the tunnel. I like that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, I've never had tarot done before.
Really?
Yeah, never had a reading. Never. Or wait, maybe once. Yeah.
Well. So. I like the idea of being the first time you pulled tarot, and we have it on camera. It'll be here. Your tarot reading. Forever. Yeah. Anything you want to share with everybody before we wrap up?
No.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like, full circle.
Full circle?
Yep. I don't even know what that means, but... yeah.
This has been Phil Phails with Mary Richardson-Perez. She's a founder and co-owner of Studio Satya, yoga teacher and social work intern on her way to being an LCSW. And this has been Phil Phails at Balance. Wave bye to everybody.
Bye.
Are you want a hug, fist bump, or handshake? Or none of the above?
A fist bump.
You can do elbow. Boom. That's it. We did it.
Woo-hoo.